Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of The Flank. I'm joined by my friend, my companion, my fucking duo. He's looking good as ever today. Ben J. Nassim. Ben, how are you doing, Ben? For the third time.
For the third time, Tom, I'm doing good. Nice little work day. We're heading into the weekend. Gonna play golf tomorrow. And Tom, we have a lot to talk about from these matches today.
Yeah, we definitely got a lot to talk about. For those of you who are joining in, we fucked up the intro like 3-4 times, so we had to get it going, and we finally got it going. But Ben, I appreciate you coming on the show again. You come with me every day and just have a lot to say, man. You're a good guy, Ben. I appreciate you taking time out of your day.
Appreciate you
to
as
come
well
do
for
this.
the show as always.
Shout out to Adam Apicella. Shout out to Esports Engine. Shout out to all those guys. Pause. Okay, guys, can you get your head out of the fucking gutter, guys? Guys, can you get your head out the gutter? Every time I say something, it's sus or it's pause or this or that. Get your head out the fucking gutter, guys. You assholes.
Tom, I'm gonna drag in our guest. We're gonna get right into it. We got a guest for their first show.
Look who it is. It's the one and only Simp. The fucking GOAT himself. What up, Chris?
What is good, Tom?
Hey, what are you doing, Simp? Hey, Simp, thank you so much for... I'm going to call you Simp during the show, just so you know.
Fine.
But I appreciate you coming in with some gifted subs, man. That means a lot.
Of course, man. You know, it's always a good time at the beginning of your streams.
Yeah, we
feels
be
like a
getting
rave
cracked.
sometimes.
Yeah, we be getting cracked.
Spamming the woomers in the chat, know that.
Yeah, spam the woomers, man. Spam the wimps for Simp. You know the fucking vibe, man. Yo, good win today, Chris. Good fucking win. We're gonna kick it off with your series. We obviously have Atlanta Faze going up against the fucking his Alex brother, Seattle Surge.
Yep.
I'm gonna pull it up for you guys.
This is the first time he's beaten them, I'm pretty sure.
Is it actually?
I'm pretty sure now he's beating everyone in the league, he said.
No way. Interesting.
Yep, I think it was a big match today for him.
We haven't
showed it.
So let's get right into it, man. We got Atlanta Faze going up against Seattle Surge. And first map, Ben, I don't know if there's anything you want to talk about with the vetoes here or anything you want to ask Simp, but what are your initial thoughts here with the maps?
Vetoes were good. I think we'll get right into it, Chris. I know you guys have had your struggles in matches on APOC. What do you think's going on there, sort of with the team?
I think it's a pacing issue with the map. Now that you know how matches are just slower compared to scrims and stuff. And plays are always different when the pacing's different and everything. So I think it's just us adapting into matches is just fucking us up like big time. Because I think this is like we're crazy good at this map. I feel like, and it just doesn't really show it in matches. So as soon as we fix this, I feel like we'll be really, really good in like the hardpoint category.
What do you think it is? Like, what's the difference between practices and matches? Do you just think other teams are playing it a little bit differently, so you just need to go back and just trying to kind of figure it out a little bit more? Because it's different, right? Matches to practice, it's just different. It's just a different atmosphere. People play differently.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, it's that. It's the pacing. It's it's different in matches because like I mean, you've played. You know how like things can either slow down, speed up. Like everyone plays different in matches for the most part.
No, 100%. I've been really enjoying watching this map. Ben really liked it when it first got brought into the rotation. He was saying it was his like the best map. I think it's I don't know. I think he's dragging that a little bit.
That's questionable for sure.
I think it might be a little questionable. But you know, Ben J. Nassim and his takes, Chris. You know, this guy's he's fucking nuts.
I'll put this map above Apocalypse, but not much better, to be honest.
I mean, this map is Apocalypse.
No, my bad. Crossroads.
Crossroads. Yeah. I knew what I had a feeling you were gonna say Crossroads.
Yeah,
but
like it replaced it. Like and it was like new and fresh and it was nice. But like now that everyone kind of knows how to play it, it's iffy. Yeah.
Well, Crossroads was fucking meat. That map sucked.
That was pretty mean.
No, well, here, let's be honest. The map wasn't good, but when I competed, I really enjoyed playing it. I'm not gonna lie. I actually had fun playing that map. But I know a lot of people just didn't like the map competitively. But what are you gonna do? It was pretty small. But your first map, Simp, you guys come out. You come out a little flat. Seattle, they come out hot, and they end up taking the first map. Kind of, what were the comms after the fact that you guys weren't? Were you guys flustered at all? Were there any arguments, anything going down, or what?
No, there weren't arguments. I mean, I kind of lost full, like for the first time ever in a match, just because of how we've been playing this map.
Yeah.
In matches. And it wasn't me like losing full about like us losing it. It's just like saying like what was on my mind at the time, you know?
Yeah. No, 100%.
It wasn't like kind of like obviously there could have been better times, but it was just fucking chalk, man. We gotta start winning this map.
Yeah. No, 100%. We actually have an Astro Gaming listening with Seattle Surge. We're gonna tune in and just kind of see how they sound.
But give me the link.
Give it to get him, Ben J.
Let's go now. They're all spawning out. Push out deeper. All spawning out low purple. Yo, they like to hit around the back left. Once you're on me. Come see Dad.
I rail for you.
Flash open, Coop. Dad got two. Another one got me. Another one tried to kill me.
I flashed one middle for you.
He's going around right now.
He's flashed two though. He's flashed two.
Tyler dead. One's in middle of me. I'm waiting.
I'm trying to kill him right now.
I can't tell.
I don't see him front ammo. He's not front ammo.
don't know if he jumped up or not.
I have the back. I have the back. I have the back rebench right now.
Just shoulder.
Too low Hauly right now.
He's not hitting up middle. Not hitting up middle right now.
I'm making him slide pressing. Yeah.
Rotating over. They're not gonna hit the back.
They're front. What's your... Too far.
One
Both one shot. Other guys one shot too.
Nice. Alec is purple. Trust. Push out right.
Go. I'm with you.
I got it, Preston. You can go as well.
I got you. You're gonna be here.
You get this one back. You.
Solo barrel's really weak. Like 3 times. You went towards the hill.
Yeah, 2 here, guys. Turn left. Yeah, I'm just laying down here.
I can help you here. Get Tom.
Yeah, I gotta go.
The one's behind us, above us. Above us.
Yeah, I'm looking above. I need a P3.
Alright, slow play this. We're good.
You say, he's top TV.
Yeah.
TV weak.
Shots?
Wow.
I don't think this is this team's first
honestly,
That was such a long listening.
That was a long listening. Bro, have they been doing them longer, Simp? I feel like they have.
I don't know.
I feel like they're listening.
I feel like our listeners
like
are
it
always
too.
short.
I
I
like
think
it.
they've gotten longer. But I think ours used to be so super short compared.
Yeah,
to
no.
else's.
And you guys have some of my favorite listenings, to be honest. I love listening in with your team, but
I mean, I feel like a lot of the time, like we talk fast and shit, but I feel like we all understand each other. So I feel like a lot of the time it sounds mixy.
yeah, but you guys
Like,
are just
but
all
we
cracked.
know when it's like it feels mixy. You're like,
Yeah.
you know,
No,
like it's just us
100%.
just talking like our bullshit.
No, honestly, your comms, you guys are very cracked and have a lot of energy, but they never sound too frantic to me. They never really sound frantic, but I mean those comms sounded really good. One thing that I wanted to note was just Big P, Gunless. Gunless was coming. I just like the small talk out of him. He's directing people. He's telling people where to go. Yeah, it was just Gunless. Just he definitely stood out to me when I was listening to that listening. I felt like I always heard him trying to coordinate something. But of course, guys, we have Decimate joining Seattle Surge. They just made a change. Looney, he gets dropped to the bench. They end up bringing Decimate up from Challengers, other known as Homelander. He likes to call himself Homelander because he does whatever the fuck he wants. But Decimate, he came in this first map and he did good, Ben.
Yeah, I mean, they played really well this map. A lot of really big one-on-one wins, especially sort of on the first rotation. We'll watch the tail end of the second rotation. I will say the only thing for JT is he was Homelander first map. The rest of the maps, I think he struggled a little bit. You know, they're still getting used to some of the teamwork on the team, and obviously, you know, Chris, you guys have been pretty nasty in S&D as of late. Yeah. Control, and then Moscow's one of your better maps. But I like what I saw from this Seattle in the series overall. They look like I had a little more fight in them. It's a tough group, man, and it's stacked against them. But I like Seattle's chances to make a little bit of noise in losers bracket.
Well, I mean, considering that the amount of practice they've had, they looked really good considering.
Yeah.
Like, it's like a super brand new team, and they looked super like organized already.
Yeah, no, they came out and they won the first map, and then even the S&D got a little scary for you guys. I mean, it wasn't like it was a blowout. Like they could have went up 2-0.
Yeah, it was like we won 4, they won 4, I think, right?
Yep. And I mean, keep in mind that I'm sure there was mistakes that you guys made, and you probably didn't think you should be that close. And then same with them, they probably made mistakes.
Yeah, I mean that's how search is. You know, it can be a blowout or it could be 5-5. Like,
right.
It's just all up to how people are playing that day.
But I do like this team. I do like the team a lot. Ben, I don't know if there's anything in this map 1 that really caught your eye that you want to talk about. Maybe something that Faze did or something that Seattle did. I know you got some notes that you like to write down. So if there's anything you want to talk about, please. There are a couple
of plays, but I think we could skip through them. I just wanted to watch the end of this because JT had a nice little streak here at the end, and it was just a good overall map from Seattle. Their teamwork was excellent. They won a bunch of really key 1-on-1s and 1-on-2s. And from the Faze side, Chris, I think you highlighted the problem. It's sort of watching you guys play this map. I just think you guys aren't playing at the pace that I think you normally play on this map, and it's sort of disrupting the flow.
This one against Seattle specifically, I think we stagger pushed like every single hill. I mean, when your first break's at 30 seconds, you're never going to win.
Yeah, no, 100%. I agree with that. JT, for those of you who don't know, is Decimate when Ben said JT there. So Decimate actually went on a little streak there at the end. And honestly, for his debut with Seattle, it was good. I mean, Decimate's a well-known player. He's been in the scene for a long time. He's been in the Pro League before. I think he's an amazing player. So shout out to Decimate. But it was his debut today with Seattle Surge. He came in, and he looked good. He looked good in the first map. He had a rough last map, but I mean, it happens, right? Especially on a map like Moscow. It ended up going to a Moscow, and when you're running a sub on that map and things aren't going your way, it's very difficult to get kills. But shout out to Decimate, man. Then we go into the next map. It's Checkmate S&D. You know, where I'm not really a fan of this map, I'm going to be honest. And I feel like, Simp, you guys weren't a fan of this map either. But now I feel like you guys are playing it a lot more.
Well, we were in a position where we were so good at every single map compared to the other teams that we kind of had the luxury of, like, banning a map we wanted to ban instead of just getting rid of their best map or whatever, you know? So, I mean, now that the team started taking like some maps off us and our maps started looking weak, we decided to start putting work into this one.
Yeah.
And it's been pretty good for us.
Yeah, because the more you expand your map pool, the better it's gonna be, right?
Yeah.
Like you just expand your map pool, it gives you. It's just harder for teams to veto against you guys if you're good at every single map. So I like that you guys took the time.
We're using these league matches to try and make sure our map pool is really the best it could be for the majors and stuff too.
Oh yeah, 100%. I know you guys like to experiment, right? In the league matches, sometimes you might pick a map that you know, if it's one of those matches where it's not really a must win, I'm guessing, right? You can kind of experiment a little bit.
Wait, Chris in the chat, that's 1v1 was crazy. I was in, bro. I outplayed Sam crazy with the sound horse.
Yeah. Show. Put the 1v1 on the screen, Ben, so we can show Sim's playmaking ability. Is that what you were doing? You were soundhorning him?
No. I knew he was soundhorning me, so I was fake mantling shit.
Oh, you were fake man. Oh, yeah. Okay, I get what you're saying. I mean, good play out of you to get the Force's bomb down. Wait, he probably lost composure if he was playing off his sound. He just completely juked the fuck out of him.
I slid that wing too, and then I made sure I was slow, and then I lost full after he climbed up here. I thought it was chalked.
Let's see this.
Then he heard your mantle, and I think he got kind of shook. And
I mantled that. He thought I mantled exit or something. And then I mantled again.
Yeah, you low-key finessed. You actually did finesse right there.
This is a weird map for Sam. I think he got in a lot of good positions. He did a lot of damage in this map, and then just a couple of weird 50-50s didn't go his way, especially sort of near the end of this map, and we'll kind of get to the later rounds here in a sec.
Yeah, we actually have Octane in the chat, and he said that sound cue was crazy. But yo, Octane, if you want to join, you're more than welcome to join, kid. You know you're always welcome on the show. But Ben, anything you want to talk about in this map number 2? I mean, this map got pretty mixy, so I know you got some notes over there.
Yeah, I don't know what Big P's doing in that situation, but FaZe goes out to a pretty big 4-0 lead, and then Seattle wins 4 straight, and then FaZe take the last 2 rounds. Tom, it was a classic 10-11 round checkmate. We see these a lot. I think maybe on your side, Chris, you guys probably lost a couple of defenses to prevent this one from being a real blowout. But I think
after we won our first offense, sorry for cutting you off, but
go ahead.
After we won our first offense, I know I was just telling them in the comms, like, just make sure we win our defenses and this map will be free.
Yeah, I mean, that's what this map, it's what it is. Like, if you're winning your defenses and you could just steal an offense or 2, you're usually going to win the map. We just know how difficult it is to win offenses because the map is just one bomb site. I mean, really, you're just fighting through plane. You're trying to get the bomb down
it's
B.
hard to work that side of the map for sure. Just because of how you can watch it, really. Like,
the stairs, right? The plane stairs. Yeah, he could just see the whole cross and plane. And it's like
they get the number where number 4 is, but like unless it's like late round like this, that stuff like that never really happens.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's like you could just lock down the whole map from the back of your spawn, and like I said, it's just there's only one site that you could possibly go to. I mean, you see people trying to experiment a little bit with the A site, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But the only time it really does work is if you catch a team off guard and they don't expect it. But we end up going to a round number 9. You guys are tied up at 4. You guys are on the offensive side, so this is a big offense for you guys. Kind of who called the strat? Kind of what was the play here?
Tyler called this round.
Yeah, I could tell. You know how I could tell? Because you got the bomb down in 15 seconds.
He was super confident in what he was doing.
I mean, that's always good.
I can't believe he killed me there. I don't know if I got team shot or what. But I was actually shook when I died because Tyler was planning.
I mean, I was saying this yesterday. I mean, just getting the bomb down is so big. I mean, if you can get the bomb down, even if you die and get the bomb down.
This round.
Yeah, it's because he left you guys in a 2. He left RCDs and Selling in a 2v2 situation with bomb down, and I mean, it's not impossible to win. I mean, they had to defuse the bomb, and as long as you can work some kills and just get some angles like Alec just did, yeah, it's just like that's how I was like, just getting the bomb down is so important. And then I like the play that Sellian made. He just went all the way around. They had no idea where he was, and then he threw some shimmies, and at this point, he just played the time. But this offensive round win was so big for you guys.
Yeah, it was super big to win another one.
Yeah,
but I mean, MC had another 1v1 against Pierce before in the game, I think.
Yep.
So I think he knew how he was going to play it. Even though it's different with bomb down and everything, but.
Yeah, I skipped over that one just in essence of time, but it was.
Yeah, Alec was having this map, by the way. Alec was fucking frying.
But we'll talk about another big round Alec had here. He kind of clutches this last round, and
yeah, he went big.
By chance, we get the Sanderson brothers squaring up in a 1v1.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are the odds?
Always a nice moment in COD when those two go at it. What were kind of like Alec's vibe today? You think he was going a little bit harder because he's playing his brother?
I mean, I don't know.
He goes hard every match.
He goes hard. I can't tell if he was going harder, but he probably was considering. You know, like obviously he didn't like play different or like showed or anything, but
I mean, it's just
Preston. He hasn't beaten Preston yet, so it was definitely a match he wanted to win.
Has he really not beaten Preston yet?
Yeah, I mean, last year I'm pretty sure they lost to Florida. Like, I don't think whenever they played him.
That's kind of crazy that he's never
I'm not sure though, because I
That
don't
he's
remember.
never beat him. That's nuts. Well, I mean, he beat him today, so I guess that's cool. It's a cool little rivalry that they got going on right now. So it's pretty exciting to watch. It's always cool seeing brothers go at it. You know, it's pretty cool to see. But Alec, he played it really well. He just had good positioning where he had eyes on everything. He just had eyes on the. He was able to get a good pick under bottom plane, and he was up by that A bomb corner, and basically from there you could lock down both sides. I mean, you could see the cross into the B bomb site. So just a good play by Arcides. We know he's a smart player, and he's good in those clutch situations. And back to what you said, Ben, about selling him. I feel like ever since he lost that 1v1 to Scump when he first came into the league, he's been one of the most clutchest players ever. I just remember selling. It was like, hey Tom, like I'm never gonna lose. I'm never gonna lose another 1v1 again, Tom. I'm never gonna lose. And like ever since that day,
and you're probably sitting there like, yeah, okay, like everyone loses once.
Yeah. In my mind, I'm like, listen, go. Like I don't know, bro. Like you might lose a few here or there. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna be able to win every single one. But I swear to God, he wins so many.
Well,
like his clutch factor is insane.
MC loves the 1v1s. I mean, he's hoping to get voted in for this All-Star thing because he wants to defend his
everyone's
title.
voting for selling him. He really wants in for this All-Star tournament, and make sure he gets his opportunity.
Hey, let's not forget about who made top 4, who made the semis in the last one. All right, let's not forget about that. I came in and I took down a lot of top players, guys. I took down Shotzi, MVP. I took down Scump, the king of COD. And then I lost to Clay's old fuck because this guy was playing like a straight hamster.
Dude,
bro,
the tournament was made for him. You know how Clay is.
Bro,
was made for him.
He was just sitting in his spawn in 1v1s,
Exactly.
like
He loves that
soundwhoring.
shit.
Like,
He
get a
loves
grip.
that
You know what I'm
shit.
saying, Sim? Get a fucking grip, Clay. You know what I'm saying? This fucking guy. But then we go into the next map, Garrison Control. I think this is a really big swing map. Obviously the series is tied at 1, so I feel like the control is really important. I was just saying I forgot who I was saying. I think it was Z, my GTA man, in the call. I was saying, is it easier to come through the front now and get kills with the new update?
Well, like the 8 point, like pushing green.
Yeah.
No,
I don't think it's easier or harder. I think it's the same. It's easier to get on the point now.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's
I
just
think
like
the
I think it's
headaches are still the
also
same.
Chris. I also think teams have gotten better at like the read on when the flood green is good because teams are just
they have for sure.
I was talking with RJ a lot about this. Like teams just wanting to hit the back to try and get the like perfect play, but there are a lot of times where he knows this one dude and he'll just fly it and take the chow.
Yeah.
But this is a weird map. You guys obviously had that clean offense, and then going in the second round, it looks like you guys you're on your way to a 3-0, and then they get this beat cap with like 12 seconds left, and then just steamroll you guys at A for their offensive win to make it 1-1.
Yeah.
Ben, anything that you want to talk about in this map? I feel like usually you got some notes and you have some little things that you always want to talk about.
I
but
just talked about my notes, but you're not paying attention.
I was paying attention, but I thought there was more. Usually you like to break down some plays. You know what I'm saying? There's like little plays that you want to break down.
I want to break down, like, I don't understand. Like, you guys have pretty good control here with 12 seconds. Actually, with 20 seconds. I'm really curious how this falls apart.
Well, here's the thing. You guys come out and you win the first offense, which is huge. Because then when you go up 2-0 in control, I mean, it's pretty much smooth sailing. You know what I'm saying?
I died there when I shouldn't have.
I think you died, but I think MC also kind of trolled. Number 6 in events.
Well, Simp, you definitely trolled. Right? You trolled on one offense.
Right? Yeah, you're on the truck.
I've been doing that sometimes. I need to get it together.
Who doesn't, bro? Who doesn't?
Your play's not bad, but if MC stays alive, then this setup is pretty valid, even if they have 3 guys. But he dies, and then the guy on play is basically just screwed.
So
he doesn't have any help really.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's not much that FC can do here.
We're ourselves out.
Yeah. So Cell gets a kill, but he's getting pinched out.
I'm their truck trying to spawn kill, and then he just, just lose the one. But it's just unfortunate because like the timing of the deaths.
Yeah. No. 100%.
And at this point, it's already chalked. So.
Yeah. At this point, you chalk it, and then you just take it. Right there is when I thought, if you rewind it, Ben, I think right here you guys just overchowed a little bit.
I threw a mega wide shoulder.
Yeah, you did.
Why.
You went super wide.
In the comms,
super wide.
I'm just like, make a push. I'm like, okay, I will. And then I just fucking didn't.
Yeah, so it was just, I think right there is just where you guys messed.
I mean,
something so small like that. I mean, super wide, like
it's
wide
just how
shot.
pro teams are. Like, you give that shit to any pro team, they're gonna capitalize on it.
And then I thought this was weird when Seattle was like 3 looking at this. Look at this. They were 3 holding the archway. I was like, bro, low key, like if Cell just comes and like slide cancels the head glitch and like gets a couple of them, like they could fucking troll, you know?
Yeah, I mean, they could have trolled. I think they had the time, though. I think they were fine no matter what.
Yeah, that was an
Just 'cause of how
interesting
stacking
play.
is. What the hell?
That was definitely an interesting play. I'm not gonna lie. When I saw it, I was like, I don't know.
Yeah,
That's,
I
that's a good thing.
I don't know. Tyler went to go pinch around because he didn't realize how fast the stack was going.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know if he could have got there. I don't know which person he was on spawn. So
It was close regardless. Yeah, it was really close regardless. But then you guys get tied up at 1. Obviously, 2 offensive wins go down. You guys win the first offense. Seattle backs back with another offense, which is not something you see very often. I feel like recently we've been seeing a lot more teams just winning a lot more offensive rounds. I feel like teams are just getting better, right? I mean, people are just figuring out.
I think everyone's learning how to stack now.
Yeah, it's
the
just
power of it.
exactly. I mean, we're on the show every day screaming stacks
Telling
because
people to stack.
because
you guys are every
you know
day.
what I'm saying? Because people just weren't stacking. Now it seems like everybody's stacking, and you just see it. You see how fast those points go up. I mean, it's kind of crazy. But you guys come out, you get the beat point right away, and now you guys are playing for this 8 point. I kind of like what you guys do. How do you guys like to set this up? You just kind of like to play through bricks, play through the back, work some kills, and just kind of get on this
Just
point?
try and work the kills. Like if you get an opening somewhere, you kind of just try and capitalize like in that area.
Yeah, no,
Like,
100%.
try and shoot someone in the back rotating or something.
Yeah, I like how you guys take your time, and then when you come off spawn, I like how you pick up some spawners, you get some cuts, make sure nobody's pinching your green, and then at that point you could just jump up, flood,
Well,
and
I
just
think
kind of funnel them in.
I think Seattle's setup here was kind of
They were playing
not
way
amazing.
too tight.
They had no. I mean, you guys basically got around the back for free. You didn't even have to trade anybody. Just a free kill. I don't. Number 2 kind of gives it up, and then outer is just open. You guys are
Yeah, then
able
now
to
they're all
pinch
just
this.
trapped.
Yeah.
That was weird. That was interesting that nobody from Seattle just kind of held this back. Yeah, that is weird. I wonder why that is.
Pristini was holding it, and he just gave it up. Watch number 2.
I wonder if he got a call or maybe
He's
that's
he's
very
top-
weird.
he's
No,
top-
it's just
he's
their
top
setup.
right
He's
now.
a sub, so
Yeah,
it's
he's a
not
sub,
something
but
he can
he's on
really
the head
hold.
glitch. And
Yeah.
he just hops down.
He probably just didn't want to die. He probably didn't want to get singled out, so he tried to stay
Yeah.
tight with his team and maybe try and work some kills and
I mean,
bricks.
that all just depends how they went off spawn after B was capped, like what their initial setup was. Because if they all just played tight, then they kind of through.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
gonna say Desi
100%.
was playing for streaks. I don't think that was the case. I'm pretty sure he was not on streaks.
No, I doubt he
No
was on
chance. He
streaks.
just
They
he was
just
off
came
spawn
off
right there.
spawn. Yeah, he just came
Yeah,
off
it's
spawn.
10-9, so I don't know what that person's talking about. But yeah, no.
It's
I
all
mean,
good.
you guys just pinch this. You get the offense, obviously, and then from there, just you guys close out on defense. And I think, as Tom alluded, we've seen the control game to be a big swing mode. And I think from you guys and your POV, that probably helped you towards this 3-1 victory.
Oh, 100%. Because a team like Faze, I mean, bro, if they lose 2 hard points in a series, that is rare. Rare. Super rare. So I had a feeling if you guys wanted to control, you were going to go out 3-1. I feel like you guys just came out a little bit flat. But at the same time, I want to give credit to Seattle because they did look good today.
Yeah,
But-
they definitely look good compared to how much practice they had. Like I
This,
said.
100%.
this spot from MC is so.
It is
It's
a good
his league-
spot.
It's his league play spot.
It really is.
Prime
Bro,
spot,
Cell,
bro.
Spots all over
I'm telling
Reddit.
you, like, Cell is the king at just playing creddy spots. Like, he just always finds himself in those positions, and it's like, yeah, other people use them, but I feel like Cell is always in them. Like, his whole play style is just based off playing
his
off
playstyle is
angles
just
and
having the advantage
headies.
in the gunfight.
Exactly. He's smart. I mean, it's a
He
smart
knows
player.
he literally knows it all.
And then on top of that, he's just talented. He's very talented. So he's a hard kill on the map, that's for sure. But yeah, they end up closing out this defense. I don't think there was anything too crazy,
I
Ben.
don't think we need to watch this. I mean, I think they end up getting.
Yeah, we get 4
Seattle
deads,
gets
I
the
think
beat
we
point.
they get the B
You guys
point.
you guys get a couple of 4 deads here, push out, and I think at this point it's pretty much a wrap.
Yeah, RCs was making some plays as well. I
Alec
like
was beaming this series, man.
I like how patient you guys were on defense. You never really pushed up until you knew 100% you got the kills. I saw there was one time where RCs was just sitting all the way back on that tank for like a cool minute and a half, just waiting until there was a 4 clean dead.
Yeah, just making sure no one's
Yeah,
peeking through
just
anything.
making sure, because you never know. Somebody gets
Well, in
by and
scrims,
makes
people,
a play.
Yeah, people get through to our square a ton in scrims.
Mm-hmm.
So it's something like you just, I guess we just pick up more.
Yep, because with him being back there and just holding down the whole map, I mean, you guys only have to worry about one thing, and that's green. Literally, just make sure they don't push through green. So just a good heads up play. Good job out of you guys to win this control and take a 2-1 lead in the series. And then we go into the next map, Ben. We go into the next map. We go into another Hardpoint. It's a Moscow Hardpoint, and I like this map. It's starting to grow on me. At first, I didn't really like it too much, but
really well.
yeah, it plays really well, and it's just one of the better maps. I feel like the spawns are really good on this map, even though there was a fluky spawn yesterday in the New York Optic series when Envoy got that back spawn on that P2 hill. That was a little weird, but on this map, I'm confused. Do people run what, 2 and 2, right? 2 ARs, 2 subs?
I think
for
so,
the most part.
For the most part, yeah.
I thought it was interesting that in some maps now we're seeing 3 subs. Like we see Selling pulling out a 3rd sub sometimes, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool to see. Why is that? Are people just learning how to hit routes and just use the subs to the speed and the pace to their advantage?
Let's maximize like what the subs are doing.
Yeah, that's usually what happens, right? As a COD goes on, it usually.
Yeah, I mean, like it starts off with like the ARs being dominant, and then because like you don't know the headies and you don't know the angles and
100%.
ins and outs, and then you learn it, and all of a sudden the sub just becomes a lot easier because of it.
100%. We actually have Tactical Rab joining us. He's been sitting in the TeamSpeak. I just saw him. I dragged him in. How you doing, Rab?
What is good?
What's up, man?
Guys.
How you doing, Rab? It's always a pleasure to have you on the show, man.
On the victory.
Thank you.
Congrats on the YouTube growth as well. Wanted to shout that out.
Oh yeah, 100%, bro.
Stream,
yeah, bro.
aren't subscribed to Sims YouTube. It's quality stuff.
Yeah, man, you've been pretty consistent on it too. I see you doing a lot of like gameplay commentaries and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool.
It's been chalk because of the move, but
oh yeah, how's that going? I forgot that you were moving into a new house. I see Jericho.
It's mainly done already. Like they're there. Like they like the house is closed. Like they have the keys and everything.
Yeah, no, I saw your girlfriend. She was posting some pictures and stuff. And bro, it looks nice, like really nice. Congratulations, man. That's huge.
Thank you.
That's huge. Enjoy it, and I'm sure you're gonna be playing a lot of COD in that house. It's in Jersey, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's dope. That's fucking dope. Your hometown. I like that.
It's like close to my family, close to her family, so it was like perfect spot.
Yeah. That's always good.
Tommy's about to be on your way, bro. He's about to be on Fios.
Yeah, bro. The fucking the Verizon Fios over there in Jersey hits different, guys. It's different.
Tri-State Fios hits.
Oh
crazy.
yeah, bro. Yeah, Fios is nuts. I still think Texas is the best spot to be when it comes to like, just because I feel like location is like the biggest thing. Being central. Yeah, but Verizon Fios is next level for sure. But let's get back into the map, man. We have, again, we got Tactical Rab joining us. We go into a Moscow hardpoint. Off the rip, it was very back and forth. I think this P3 hill, you guys did a very good job making this mixy. I don't know if you guys came through the front or what.
JT made a weird play on this. So, like, I'm going to go all the way back. I think, like, a lot of this happens because he sits up for this big play in bank, and then he ends up kind of, like, out of the play when you guys hit front. So, look at number 3 when this all sets up. I mean, he gets the initial kills here, but because you guys get the kills in hill, suddenly now you have all of hill control. And I've noticed that when you guys play, especially on the P3s, you guys are really good at maximizing your 2v3, 2v4s, and you don't have the back spawns, and you're able to make this kind of mixy.
Yeah. I mean, what he was doing is fine. I don't know how the arrows lined up, but I think someone might have crossed. I think Alec crossed someone just in time for someone to spawn out on Seattle. And so as soon as that guy spawns out, the spawns are chalked because he's just blocking the front ones.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's very difficult to come in through the front of this hill and get kills like this. That's why it was just a good play by you.
We came through elbow.
You came through elbow, but I mean, coming through elbow is not easy, man. If people are holding, because you guys died in the back when you guys are pushing the back, but somebody got a big kill on Gunless, I think it was, pushing the back. That was huge. When Pierce died back there, I think that was like the main thing. But whatever, it's a tie game after the P3 hill. Rab, I kind of want to bring you into the convo a little bit. Watching this map, was there anything that caught your eye or anything that you want to add?
It was a banger, man. I mean, I guess I just wanted to shout out Arcites, really. Like, what a monster series.
He's a beast, bro. He's a beast.
He's been catching some flack for sure, because, I mean, there's only so many kills on a map. But, yeah, he had a huge series right here. Obviously, you guys already went over the search, but I think it was true in there. Maybe I'll let you guys get to the listening.
Yeah, he was making plays. We will tune in.
He's been frying in matches lately.
We'll tune into the Astro Gaming listen in with Atlanta Faze and see how they sound.
One pillar, one time. One pillar, one time. It's all good.
Get aside.
On street, bus stop.
Bus street, kill me. Bus stop.
Slow down. We are
sitting bus stop by himself.
Go bus, I'm with you.
I'm trying to go gold.
Pray a minute. Could be right corner.
He's top bus. Laying down top bus.
Watch out, Pierce. You have to be close. And he's on the bus.
Nice. One. Bus.
One shot bus on you.
That's me done.
3, get this 3. Get new control. Make sure you have new control.
You want to push up front?
I'm gonna go.
I got time. You want to run over?
I'm cutting out.
One's broken car. I think he's on the car.
Wants to go up, Hattie.
I'll try the Eskies.
There's on team now.
Yeah, nothing Eskies either. I'm saying, wait, I'm gonna clear it.
I'm gonna take it.
There's 2 gloves. Preston,
I'm in Corsetto.
Preston, one shot. Preston, same or both on me.
Have a base, one shot done.
Same week.
One time.
Take your time. Yo, we need to get this.
I got one.
They like us. Yeah, me and I'm here.
So I'm giving up gold.
I have Eskies. You guys hit that.
I'm trying to get you.
Hit together.
And right.
Running left.
On team, I left.
Watching push.
I left there.
Let's
Try and get a butt like a push.
You have left.
I'll see him. Let's hit.
Watch
Let's
out,
hit.
left. I pinch.
He jumped up now.
I'm weak.
Well, Chance, that sounded...
Bro, honestly, I fucking love you guys' listenings. I mean, people are saying they talk, you guys talk really fast, but I kind of like that. Like, once you get into like the rhythm, like I just know because when I teamed with Selim and he gets in those rhythms where he's talking really fast.
He's spam calls. So.
Yeah, he spam calls, and that, I don't know. There's something about the energy and the talking fast that just gets me like super turned in the middle of a match. I don't know if you're the same way, but I feed off the energy of the comms.
But yeah, I mean, it's just how MC is. Like I said before, for us it doesn't sound hectic, but obviously. For other people, it'll sound hectic.
Yeah, no, 100%. And then it was kind of like the second part of this game where I feel like you guys really stormed through this. I mean, Seattle, they locked down this P2 and they take a lead. But if I remember correctly, what was the final score of this map? I'm pretty sure you guys steamrolled them.
It was like 160,
yeah, we started
158 or something
off.
Seattle had.
Exactly. And look at the score right now. Right now, it's 141 to 90 in favor of Seattle.
Seattle ended up with 158 points. They didn't get many after this.
That's what I'm saying. Faze just scored like 150 straight to just close this out. And it all stems just going into the second rotation of P3, the Street Hill, going back to P1. Like, you guys just started frying. It was perfect COD.
Yeah, I want to point out a few things. Like, you'll notice at the end of this hill, I think, Chris, you make a really good play. We've talked about a lot, Tom, like what the good hardpoint teams do, especially on this map, is they stay ahead of the game. Right, great. You get hill control here at P3, but setting yourself up for P4 and getting that bus control and picking a side and getting them in the deep spawn, and then getting the good spawns for P1, so then you have the good spawns for P2. Like, all of those things, you're able to, and then that's how Faze is able to get 160 seconds here to win the map.
And I love that play out of you, Simp. When you're in gold, you have like 20-something seconds left, and you end up just going gold window. You get that bus control super early. Seattle could have got bus control, but they ended up flooding through gold, and nobody rotated to the right. So Simp took advantage of that. And look, you get the kills, you get the kill bus, and now you give your team spawns, and now you guys have bus control, and Seattle's fucked. We know how hard it is to get people out of that bus when you're coming through the front. And this hill, to be honest, is kind of a money hill if you play it right. So just watching you finesse here, Chris, was a good play, man. Good fucking play. And
yeah, I mean, you know me, man. I'm rotating.
Yeah, bro. You're hitting the rotations. You're hitting the routes. You got the gunny, bro. So just a good play. And then right here with 30 seconds left, you guys flip back, so you get the front spawns, which is good because now you're just flipping and pinning Seattle all the way back in those back spawns, like those back police. It's bank, right? Back bank spawns. That's what you guys call it. Everybody calls it different.
Yeah.
But
bank.
Yeah, bank. I used to always get it mixed up when I was competing. I would say police or bank. Like I would just always get the fucking two mixed up. I don't know why, but
Police is the one on the other side, right?
Yeah, police is on the other side. I just would always get them mixed up. But Seattle, they end up storming through. They break it. They get like 5-10 seconds. But again, just going into P1 and P2, you guys pretty much just lock this down. And it's pretty much just smooth sailing, man. I mean, Ben, I don't know if there's anything else that you want to add, but this is smooth sailing from the Faze guys. This is clinical shit. This is what we expect from Atlanta Faze.
Yeah, I didn't have anything else. I think, Rav, I'm going to ask Sam, I'm going to ask kind of the big question for you, and then Rav, want to get your thoughts after. You know, obviously, you guys are now 3-1 in this group. It's a pretty mixy situation. What are your thoughts going into a big weekend matchup with Optic Gaming?
I mean, we're just going to treat it like any other match, and you know, do our research, check what we're going to veto, and you know.
It's same old shit.
Hopefully we win and come out on top of the group.
Yeah, same old fucking shit.
Do we have to win?
I think you might not even have to win. I was trying to figure it out today, and I think there's some situation where you can lose 3-2 and still get through because of like tiebreaker maps and stuff. Because you hold the map like you have a better head-to-head map win against New York and Thieves than Optic do. So. Okay. I think that means that there's basically a great chance you qualify, I think.
All right. Well,
it's tough for Optic.
Either way, hopefully going to show up, win this match tomorrow.
Is it tomorrow? Is that when you guys play Optic?
Sunday, right? Sunday.
Yeah.
Sunday? Is it Sunday?
Yeah,
because tomorrow
second last match. Because it's Dallas Rocker last match.
Tomorrow we got New York 100 Thieves. I'm ready for that.
Come out first and get into the major confident.
100%, bro. You the fucking man. Good job today. Hey, you're more than welcome to stay for the rest of the show too. We're about to talk about this Dallas series.
I didn't really watch the match. I was on the way back from the facility.
You're good, man. Do whatever you want to do. It's always a pleasure to have you on, man.
I'll be tuning in.
Yeah, appreciate you.
I'm a dip.
And again, appreciate you coming on and thank you for the subs, man. Thank you for showing love to the stream.
Of course, thank you for having me.
Let's get some W's in the chat for Sit, man. You have a good one, bro. Thank you.
Later.
Later.
User disconnected.
Yeah, so I want to. We'll good to have Chris on. I want to talk about this series.
Shout out to Simp. Shout out to Simp. He's a good dude, man. He's a good dude, and
he's a good dude. Yeah.
He's probably one of the best, if not the best player, in the COD League right now, man. So shout out to him. Shout out to him for taking the time to come out and talk to you guys, man. So it's always a pleasure. Always a fucking pleasure. But go ahead, Ben.
Yeah. So Dallas, Florida. I mean, I'll be honest. You know, I looked at these videos and I was like, "It's actually a pretty good job from Dallas." I kind of liked how the maps played out. But Tom, like,
can I say something? I really want to say something here. What the fuck, bro? Are you not pissed off watching Dallas now? Because I am. I think it's ridiculous that they got rid of HUKE. I think it's ridiculous. And I don't give a fuck what anybody says. I don't care. I'll talk to Krim. I'll talk to anybody on the team. It could have been internal problems. It could have been I don't give a fuck what the fuck it was. I don't care. If I feel like you have XEO, one of the most dangerous trios in COD, and you break it apart. They just won the biggest tournament ever last season. They won MW champs. They come into this year, they're a top 2, top 3 team. They were top 3 in the standings. They're deadly. They look deadly on paper. Everybody hates playing XEO. And then on top of that, you have Crim6, who's one of the most winningest players of all time running the main. It's like, it's a deadly roster. And again, I don't want to take shots at Dallas or Fellow or anybody else that came into this team. But it's so frustrating as a viewer to watch without seeing HUKE playing with these guys because of how good they were when they had them. And it just makes no sense to me.
Let me make 2 points, and then the last point's more of a question, and I think it's an open discussion we should have. So, point 1 is like I think we could sit here and talk about Kyler and the situation with him until we're blue in the face, and like we still don't know much about it. I think the problem they have right now is they've kind of invested in Illy being a really good second sub, and I don't think that's sort of something that's going to work necessarily. I think so far from what we've seen in that situation with him running the second sub, his production hasn't been there. And I think they don't now have the roster flexibility to kind of undo that situation. You're going to then make Fellow the second sub and make Illy the third AR or the second AR. Well, Tom, we've talked about a lot of the maps becoming 3 subs, so you're not going to really be able to avoid that problem. I want to ask a question to you two guys.
Yeah, Ben, let me hear it.
Do you think that Dallas should have tried to sell Illy last summer instead of Clay? Maybe their team would have made a little bit more sense. They would have a little bit more leadership, a little bit more vocality in the room. I don't know. I think that's an interesting thing. I don't know if things would have, it's a very huge what if, obviously, but I think things would have played out a little bit differently for them this year if they kept Clay.
Yeah, I'll let you go first, Tactical Rab. What do you think?
Man, that's quite the take, though. Keeping Clay and Krim.
That is a crazy question.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting. Like, how the season's worked out, the fact that, okay, we've got 2 ARs on a lot of maps, so you can look at it and say, okay, that seems reasonable. But coming into the season, when you want to give your roster maximum flexibility, I can't say that, like, that. I don't know. I don't think I'd have necessarily taken that route at the start of the season when you don't know if you're going to have 3 SMGs on a lot of maps. Of course, you have a substitute, but then again, your sub's Fellow, and like you see, he's running the AR right now. So, interesting take, I guess. I think the real big discussion to me would have been that when the change was going down, that's what everyone's been talking about, right? Like, should it have been HUKE or already that time? I mean, the crazy thing is to me, it just, and I said it when Thieves signed him, is just how quickly they made this change, right?
Agreed.
And this is the thing. If I'm Nadeshot and I'm on the phone with Hastro and he's actually given me this deal, I'm making this deal happen as soon as I possibly can. Like, you know, you don't interrupt your enemy while he's making a mistake. And I don't know, it seems like that's kind of happened here in a sense that you now look at Dallas, and you mentioned it the other day, they don't even have a substitute right now. Like, there's no fix. Surely you try and give this team some time to see if it works. And if it doesn't, I mean, who can probably slot back into any role? There's been so much discussion lately, the fact that any player can play any role right now. Like, that's kind of what you're saying about Clay right there. So I went on a bit of a tangent, but...
No, you're good. I love hearing you talk, Rab. You're very wise.
Thing on this, Tom, which is, okay. I saw some people in the chat saying, like, well, there's no way they knew it was going to be a 2 AR meta or whatever. Well, then they could have kept Clay obviously he maybe kept Illy around as a sub, but they could have picked up a sub player as their backup, so they could have hedged against potentially being a 3-sub meta. I think it's an interesting question on their end. If by removing Clay from the team, Krim became sort of the focal point of leadership, and we've seen on teams like that, like with Slasher, we know that Krim is very passionate about how he wants to play COD and his approach to COD. Sometimes you get diminishing returns with that approach, and I wonder if that's a little bit of what's going on right now with the Dallas camp.
I mean, I got a take. I never answered your question. You think should Illy have gone instead of Clay, vice versa, whatever? No, I think you keep XEO together because that's what makes this fucking team scary. That's what makes Dallas scary. They just broke it apart. Now, you can argue Krim or Clay. You can 100% argue that. Maybe get Krim out and keep Clay or vice versa. But XEO is why this team is so hard to play against. I played against them. I fucking played against these guys on main stage, on the big stage. They're a hard team. When you have players like that who are so hyper aggressive and work off each other so well, when it doesn't matter if it doesn't matter if they're even making mistakes on the map, even if they're playing the map the wrong way, they're still hard to play against. They're hard to shoot at. And especially a player like Kyler, who's such a hard kill on the map. No matter what he's doing, he could be doing the dumbest thing ever, flipping spawns, doing some stupid shit. It doesn't fucking matter because at the end of the day, he's still making plays. He's still getting kills. It's still annoying to play against. Now you broke up XEO. You brought in Fellow, which again, I love Fellow. I think he's a great player. I have nothing to take away from Fellow. But you just took away one of the best trios in COD. And so fast. They didn't even say, you know what? Let's try and play with Fellow, see how it goes for a month, and if it doesn't work, we'll bring Kyler back in. They brought Fellow in and then tossed HUKE out. They tossed their franchise player out like it was fucking nothing. Hasta la vista. See you later. And
yeah, I mean, Tom, like my
doesn't make any sense.
My thing with it is this is like, I agree. Like, I would have liked to have seen them try and work this out. If there was some disagreement about strategy or whatever was going behind the scenes with HUKE, like I would have liked to have seen them try to mediate it. It's not like they were playing that awful when they made the change, but they're still stuck in the same gear prior to the change now with significantly less flexibility and without the option to put Kyler in because now he's on a competitor team and possibly making them a little bit better.
I don't know. I just feel like if I was in that camp, I would have handled things a lot differently. Now, again, there could be a lot of in and outs to this that we don't know about. So it's very hard to talk about sometimes, but at the same time, like, I just feel like this is such fugazi. I feel like the whole team changed.
It's a perfect use
of that word. It was a big pile of fucking fugazi. That's what it was. This whole roster change is a big pile of fugazi. And I don't understand it. I really don't. And that's the only reason why I'm so frustrated, because I always enjoyed watching Dallas play because I just loved watching XEO play off each other. And now that that's gone, it's like, okay, well, see you later. Now you got fucking Kylo Ken going with HUKE Skywalker over at 100 Thieves.
Oh my god.
So, you know what I'm saying? Tactical Rab.
Yeah, it's scary, dude. It really is scary for Dallas. I'm still mind blown, man. I think that is one of the big questions regarding like Krim, I guess, right? Because I think, as you say, that's been the big talking point, right? Clay or Krim, who should have stayed on the team? And your take, Ben, about like the whole slasher kind of angle is kind of interesting, right? You look at this team now and you're thinking, like, I'm a big fan of Illy. I'm a big fan of his playstyle. I think he does phenomenal work.
His communication's fantastic whenever we hear or listening with him.
Yeah, I think this guy's awesome. But like, how much production have we really got out of Illy this year? Not much, right? And you gotta think that Glacier was saying just yesterday on the show that he's the glue to that team, dude. It's not working right now. So, man, I mean, I can see why they wanted it to stay 5v5. Let's say that.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, they were put in a tough situation anyway, regardless of when it went back to 4v4. I mean, just coming down and making that decision on whether you want to get rid of Clayster or Crim6 is just like so difficult because of who they are as players. And then to me, they were like, XEO just can't be touched with, which I agreed with at the time, and I still agree with that. I don't think they should have touched it at all. It's just, it's a hard decision, right? It's just a hard decision. I think Clay brings a lot to a team. And I think you're seeing that now with New York. I think Clay's bringing a lot of intangibles to New York, and it's helping out a lot, which is another reason why I just really like that New York team. It's the reason why I wanted to get him on New York when I found out that he was off Dallas, because Clay is one of those players that I personally would not pass up on. I think he's one of the best, if not the best. It's arguable. Guys, Clay is having a hell of a year. He's
fantastic.
He's having a hell of a year. He's obviously won multiple rings. He's won multiple championships. He's playing incredible. Like he's one of the best ARs to ever do it, and he still is. And it's one of those things where maybe they did make a mistake letting him go, but I don't give a fuck because we got him on New York, so it's good for us. But at the end of the day, XEO just cannot be touched with. We could go back into the map though. I obviously want to talk about the map a little bit.
Dallas is up quite a bit.
It's a crazy map. Yeah, I didn't realize how much they're up by.
The second rotation, like they couldn't get any P2 time. They didn't get any P3 time. I know Neptune streak for like the last 20 seconds there. Okay, interesting choice. And then this sort of from this situation plays out weird. If I remember correctly, Florida it ends here, and Florida basically doesn't get in time, right?
Yeah, they don't get in time. It comes down to the time limit, which is crazy. I see a lot of some people talk about the map. Listen, guys, we have a long show. We have a lot to talk about. There's stuff that I want to get off my chest. There's sometimes things that I want to talk about. I think it's a pretty fair topic to talk about because right now Dallas is just not looking the same. So I really wanted to just get that off my chest, man. But we're gonna keep talking about the map. Don't worry, guys. There wasn't really much. It was very back and forth. Dallas took a huge lead, and then at the end, it was just a very contest heavy map. I mean, it went down to the time limit. At the very end, you just see them holding bus. Nobody's getting in the hill. They're letting the time dwindle down, and it was just a good play by Florida. And then on top of that, we're talking about Dallas a lot, but I also want to show love on the other side because Neptune looked great today, Ben, and you had a lot of choice words to say about Neptune.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes he makes some questionable decisions. I think he's still learning how to play COD at this level. But you can't deny that this guy, late game, his decision making and his skill, like, I see why Florida is so high on him as a player. I think the inconsistency, and it's not just him, it almost applies to everybody on this team, is what's kind of killing this year from being like a really good team as opposed to being just a good team.
Yeah, Neptune was able to pick up some streaks at the end and kind of bomb the front of that P3 hill and just go on a little bit of streak. It really helped them come back and really set them up for that street hill. So just good plays out of Neptune and crew. Havoc looked a lot better today. Skies played unreal, right? You want to see Skies showing that consistency. I was actually watching the match with Z, my GTA duo, and he was saying, dude, Skies has like a really good shot. I was like, yeah, bro, he's very talented. Like, he's one of the most talented ARs. He shoots absolute laser beams. It's fun to watch him play. I think for me, it was just finding consistency for him. Yeah, I feel like he hasn't found that much of a consistency this year. He's been kind of inconsistent at times, but today he came out and showed up every single match, or every single map. So it was good to see, Ben.
Yeah, I mean, again, after watching him play really well the last couple of years, we know that he's got talent. What we want to see more from him this year is series like this. We know he has it in to have these absolute takeover series, but there have been times this year where either him or other players in the team haven't been there. You and I have been from day one very high on this team, and we want to see them hit that ceiling. This is a huge win for them. They have a huge opportunity now, based on how this group is breaking down, to get a good seed going into potentially the winner's bracket. Hopefully, and this is like the 5th time we said this now, they kick it on from here and kind of get into a good vein of form for maybe another week or two.
100%. Tactical Rab, anything in this S&D? I don't know how much of this you actually watched, because I know.
Yeah, no, I got to watch a bit of it. I mean, the 1v3 was the big story early on. I mean, that was like, come on, Dallas, man, you've just thrown away game 1. Then we got a 3v1. Crim gets picked. That is what it is. And then Illy's getting picked. Fellow just like flies out to try and get the trade. Gets completely finessed by Skies around the pillar. It's just, as soon as that happened, I was like, yeah, this series is no chance.
Yeah,
I just can't see Dallas regaining. But the Florida side is so strange, this team, man, because when they've got all the pieces firing on all cylinders, they are such a scary team. And we saw it last year, and it's always discussed, right? Like when Skies is going off, because Awakening, he's either going to go off or he's going to be solid, like one of the two.
Yeah.
Neptune, when he has a big series, as did Skies right here, they're really difficult to stop. But I was just looking through their schedule so far this season, and they have not won more than 2 series in a row. So they've won 2 series in a row twice. At the major, stage 1 major, they won losers round 1 and losers round 2 against Surge and then Paris. Then they lost. Then at stage 2, they beat Rocker and they beat Optic back-to-back. Those are the only times they've won more than 1 series in a row, which is like, that's crazy to think about, right? Like, that just shows the consistency in a nutshell. If they can't win 3 series in a row. So we'll have to see how they go. I mean, as you say, Ben, massive series for them, certainly. but it is the 1v3.
Yeah, let's take a look, bro. I love the way he plays. He just finesse. Look at Colt Havoc, man, bringing the energy, bringing the hype to the squad. Maybe that's a little bit of something that they needed. Maybe because I know Awakening's kind of quiet. Same with Caesar, right? And then Neptune's a new guy. Honestly, they got a quiet team. So I like that they brought Havoc in here to make some fucking noise in there. Because, you know, bring a little bit of energy, bring a little bit of hype. So it's cool to see that, Colt. I like seeing Havoc go crazy. I also thought it was funny that Havoc came in and had some teabags, man. He came in with some teabags. Anybody see that? Anybody see some teabags? A little bit of banter going on? That's definitely a Havoc in the chat. I love shit like that.
So are we ready to admit that I'm a legitimate prophet at this point?
What do you mean a prophet? What are you talking about?
Zen did call us.
My predictions are unmatched.
Wait, what did you say?
I said 3-1 Florida.
Yeah, you did. I mean, listen, great predictions in. Great prediction. It's always a pleasure to have you on board because we know your predictions are spot on. Spot on. What caught your eyes in watching the series? Was there anything that really impressed you or something that you want to know? I was just saying I can't believe XEO is actually not a thing anymore.
Yeah, that I think Skies has been super inconsistent, and you know, some maps he's playing well, some maps he's not. He had a great series, obviously, and he went off. Dallas has not looked like Dallas ever since the change. Nope. I wouldn't say I was anticipating this, but it's just like that's a big shakeup. Like taking HUKE out of the roster, no matter what you think is going wrong, is it's a scary thing, and I'm sure now, if they're not already, if they didn't already, they're probably now thinking, "What the fuck did we do?" or like, "What can we do now to fix the mistake we made?" And I mean, we talked about team changes, right? Like, Fellow's been great this year.
Yeah, he's good.
But is he the piece to win Dallas Empire the championships? I personally don't think so.
I think the X factor in their team is Illy. If Illy can get to the level that they think he can, their team's going to be unbelievable. If he's where he is right now, where he's dropping a good like 0.95, you know, they're going to need a bigger performance out of Fellow or Krim to make up for that slaying. And I know kills aren't everything in this situation, but I think by making that move, you've put a lot of stock in Illy's stepping up to the plate as that second sub.
Not for sure. I think see a lot of people in the chat talking about TJ, right? Maybe bringing TJ Hauly over to Dallas, but I'm gonna be honest.
Krim and TJ, man.
Yeah, Krim and TJ. That'd be comedy. I think TJ's an amazing player. TJ got the shit end of the stick. Let's be honest. Over at 100 Thieves, they were playing really, really well, and I think TJ, even himself, he's been playing really well, like individually. So it's just like he got the shit end of the stick because HUKE obviously is one of those players that is hard to pass up on, but. No doubt in my mind that TJ Hauly's going to bounce back and find himself on another team and continue to do what he does best. So I see a lot of people in the chat talking about him maybe going to Dallas. But again, guys, I want to note, like, Fellow is a good player. Like, he's not bad. Trust me. Like, Tyler, there's a reason why the Dallas guys even wanted to play with him too. Because these guys are also, you know, they're world champs. They're really good players. They wouldn't play with somebody if they didn't think he was good. I mean, he brings a lot to a team, especially with the veteranship and the comms. And he's talented. He's not a bad player whatsoever. So we'll see how this Dallas team continues to perform as time goes on. But TJ Hauly maybe going to Dallas, I see a lot of people talking about it. You know, I feel like that's not too much of a stretch. But at the same time,
I mean, the only one issue with bringing Tej on to Dallas would be you have to put Illy back on that AR role, and I think they moved him off that AR role because he was more comfortable as a sub. So, I mean, listen, I just think if you get rid of HUKE, you need to bring in a player who's a consistent fucking pop-off slayer. Maybe I'm wrong, right? Maybe they made a move to play more structural COD, but this is the number 2 seeded team who placed second and then third. Like, I still find it crazy that they made a change. And now in order to make up for that change, they need to prove why they did it.
And people are spamming John in the chat, and it's the same problem as Tej. We know John's ceiling, but he also had the same inconsistency problems when he was at the pro level, and he's had a bit of times too in challengers. I know he played well in finals, but I agree with Zinni's thought. Like, it's a big gap to fill if you're taking HUKE out of the piece here, and they're gonna have to solve it.
Everybody's saying Sib. Sib is obviously great. I think him and Krim would rip each other's heads off.
Well, we already saw the debacle. Porter started fucking screaming at the fucking guy for changing guns and 8s. He started tearing him apart. He started throwing personal shots at the fucking kid.
Wait, really?
Yeah, he was like,
He's one sick. He's a sick bastard, man.
You didn't hear him.
That guy's one sick fuck.
He's like,
you fucking dropped out of high school, you dumb bitch. Stop fucking
Wait,
switching.
really?
yeah, he literally went fucking rogue. He went fucking
what the
rogue on a
fuck?
guy. And I said, the fuck is wrong with this fucking asshole?
To touch on TJ, first off, I think he's been playing a lot better, and I'm surprised you don't see TJ and HUKE on the same team, because I feel like TJ makes the game easier on pretty much everybody he's playing with. Like, I'm not saying Venom isn't selfless. I don't know a ton about him, right? I actually have firsthand, it's like shit to go off with TJ. With Venom, I don't have that, but like TJ makes the game easier, and he's great at search. So
no, TJ is a beast. No, TJ is a really, really good player.
Like everybody's talking about HUKE as a generational talent, which I agree with, but I also feel like TJ is one of them as well.
He is. I mean, TJ's been around for a long time. He's been around for a long time. I don't know if Ben agrees with that, but I agree with it. I think TJ's a beast. I think he's really good. I feel bad for TJ because he's been turning up the like with 100 Ds. Like, they've been playing well when they picked up Venom. Like the Kenny Venom Draza TJ team was great. Was really good. But at the same time, I don't know if TJ is on the same level as HUKE though. Zinni. I'm just talking to you, Zinni, because you said that they're both generational talents.
Yeah, I'm chilling. I'll get back to you in one moment.
What the fuck are you eating? You got Froyo up there again.
Zinni's breaking out the Froyo again.
He's on the V again.
Tom, to the point of Tej, like, I agree with Zin. Like, Tej has been playing pretty good this year.
He has.
But I think they see a lot in Venom, and the team with Venom was playing really well, and Tej just kind of became the odd man out. But I wouldn't be surprised if, maybe they struggle or they want to try something else that he may get a fit in. Tom, I want to talk about this round because we just watched it and I want to play it back, and it made me lose absolute full.
Okay.
So, yeah, I know Florida's in a 4v3, but the way that Dallas plays this round, they give themselves zero chance to win this round. Watch where everybody on Dallas is when they plant this bomb and the plays they make afterwards.
Okay.
First off, they have no idea the Havoc's here. He doesn't really make that much of an impact in the situation. But they plant this bomb, and then Shotzi goes on this mid plant. Yeah, they goes for this mid pitch to plant.
Wait, did he not see him?
He didn't see him, but Tom, they have bombed down at B. They have bombed down at B, and Fellow was the only one on B site. The other two guys, and they have bombed down, are currently pitching a team of 4 players.
Well, where the fuck are they going, Ben? Where are they going? Where's everybody? Why is nobody by the site? They're trying to make solo plays.
Yeah.
Shotzi's across the map. Ender, he's gonna get taken out. I mean, they have everything locked down. I mean, it was just a weird play. I feel like it was just Dallas trying to make a play happen, but they
sometimes
definitely
you see
didn't
that
work
in
out.
like the 3v4s when like they'll just be like, okay, winning 3v4 guns up is going to be tough. We'll just send someone on a big flank. But
yeah.
I feel like we see a lot of the time when a team will get a bomb down 3v4, they'll just post up on headies, get 1 kill, and then they're like, and then it's just all right. We trade out the rest of them, but
yeah, the problem is
you got to trade. You got to go with your teammates and try and get.
The problem is when you're down numbers, you're gonna lose the battle of trades. So if any good team that has numbers, say they're in a 4v3 situation, say Florida, right? They're in a 4v3 situation. As long as they sit together and push it out together and use their trades, they're gonna win the round. They're gonna, unless they get absolutely shit on pieced or somebody makes a play, they're gonna win the round. Which is why a team like Dallas, in 3-4 Havoc throwing some teabags in there was kind of funny. If they're in a 3-4, kind of like what Tactical Rab said, that's when you start seeing maybe somebody go on a flank, maybe somebody hitting route, maybe somebody trying to make a play, trying to get a pick. Because at that point, you're at a disadvantage and you're trying to make something happen. So that's when you get the green light. Crowder always used to tell me when I used to play with Crowder back in the day, aka he used to be Replays now, Crowder, head coach over at Atlanta Faze. I sometimes I went a little crazy and I used to get blooded a lot. And Crowder always used to tell me, he's like, listen, I love when you make plays, but you got to know when to make plays and when not to make plays. So unless you're making a play off the rip of a round, you need to let us know so that we can play around you, or you play with us. And then in the middle of a round, if shit hits the fan, then you make a play. So that was something that really got to me when I was playing with him. And it's harder said than done because sometimes people just feel the need to make a play. And that was the problem I had. But I think that's just what happened in that round there, Ben. So if you lost full, I'm sorry you lost full. But
I lost full because they gave themselves no chance to win that round, though. They're just going for world star pieces and hoping and praying, and they didn't try to push anything out together. Like maybe hit the double pin, screw it. but at least you've got some trade advantage if they're taking single chows. I just felt like they went from giving themselves a 15% chance to win their round to maybe like 1% by just taking individual ones.
How you doing, Zen? And then adding on to that, I see a lot of people talking about Envoy in the chat, and I think that's a serious problem right now. A lot of people are like, Envoy this, Envoy that. I don't think the way Envoy plays is a problem. I think the team right now is the problem. I think when Envoy wants to make a play off the rip of the round, the team needs to start playing around him more. And then I think in the middle of rounds, if things are hitting the fan, that's where Envoy starts making plays. That's when he could start hitting those flanks and start hitting some of these routes. I think right now they're just a little bit off on the teamwork side of things. I think that's the main problem with it.
Everybody's overthinking it. It's not any one player. The team, I mean, Seth was in my stream last night. Yes, Optic Scumpy was in my chat last night. He was saying their practice has been shit. And I'm like, well, we can tell by looking at what we're watching. It certainly can't be good.
That's such an answer. I'm sorry.
And then he said our teamwork's just off. And it's like, listen, if you're getting shit practice, I'm not surprised that you're getting shit on in matches, right? And like we were talking last night about Optic, and they just have too much talent to be playing like that, especially in
But why are they getting shit practice though? Did he give a reason?
I mean, no, not publicly. I mean, like. Listen.
I mean, personally, I don't think it's people overthinking. I think it's people not thinking at all. When people are like, drop Envoy, drop Scum, drop it, they're just not thinking.
But
they
they're
just
looking
don't
at individual
fucking
plays. They're like, oh, Envoy's making this solo play. He's trying to find this. Like sometimes when the team isn't playing well, you try to overcompensate and overthink the game, and you try to do too much, right? Like that's something that a lot of players do. Is like, well, we're getting shit on, or we're not playing well. I need to make this happen. I need to do this, and that's just when things go even worse, right?
Yeah.
They need better practice, and they need their swagger back. Like watching them play, I feel like I'm watching a lot of individuals instead of a team. Like I'm just watching people challenge. I'm not watching Optic anymore. I'm watching Dashy, Scott. Like I'm watching the individuals play.
Yeah.
I think they'll fix that, and the important thing for them is not to overthink it too much and simply just get back in that groove, right? And just get good practice and.
Yeah. No, 100%. But let's get back into the match because we have Dallas Empire going up against Florida Mutineers. Florida goes up 2-0. They come out, they win the S&D. And then again, they come into this third map firing a big wake. He starts off 6-0. He starts off on a streak. They end up stacking this point. They come out hot and they win this first offense quick. And I'm sitting here in the TeamSpeak watching with some people. And I'm like, dude, this Dallas does not look the same. And this Florida is firing on all cylinders. So I'm just really curious, one, to see if Florida could keep this going, because I know consistency has been their problem, but I just feel like they have it in them to stay consistent. I really do. They just need to keep working at it. And now we got to see what's going on with Dallas. But anything, Ben, that caught your eye in this control is something that you think people need to start doing? And you got Cole. Is he drinking coffee? Because that's not a bad play. Get a little mug of coffee and during your match.
That before.
Yeah, I kind of like that, Rav. You know what I'm saying? This guy's.
It could be water.
It could be water, but that's comedy. If he has a cup of coffee, this guy's going crazy.
Sometimes you got a nice mug. You like that gimmick. Maybe you're just sipping water out of a mug. You never know.
I don't know. I think that's fucking fugazi. You just get a water bottle.
But I like it if it's coffee though. Nice little espresso. Maybe he's got something going on there. You know?
Nice little espresso. This guy's got an espresso.
Nice little double shot of espresso.
But shout out to Awakening, man, because this guy is a fucking unit on the map. I honestly love watching him play, especially with the AR in hand. I mean, bro, I think he could potentially be like a main AR player. He reminds me of like Kenny. Like the way he
100%, dude.
I don't know what it is, but he reminds me of Kenny when he plays. He just YYs everything, slide cancels everything with the AR and just goes rogue. And it's fun to watch. It's honestly fun to watch. So we'll see if they can continue.
Nowhere near, man. It just blows my mind, because you remember that game they played against Optic? It was like stage 1 or whatever it was, the crazy HUKE, not HUKE, it was Illy Scum 1v1 or whatever.
Yep.
And I think it was like the end of stage 2, or there was some important series they played, and it was absolutely insane. Both teams were playing incredibly well fundamentally, and they're just getting smoked, dude. This is what Florida are capable of, certainly, but man, it's just crazy. And the TJ point, I just wanted to say something on it quickly, because what I think that Thieves, well, we'll see what they do exactly, because TJ, of course, wants to play somewhere else, but I do wonder if the guys over there will make the play that maybe Dallas should have made, as to be like, all right, well, let's just leave it a little bit. Let's just see how Venom goes in this team. Who can TJ play with each other, right? Back in the day, like Advanced Warfare, they were on the same team, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, they've got some chemistry there. We don't want to just give up TJ this easily. He's certainly a valuable piece to a team. This is what I'd be doing if I was Thieves. I'd be keeping him for a little while and seeing if there's opportunities that come up maybe after the major, if we're having to look particularly good at the major, for example, but not trade him off within like a week and a half, as seems to have happened the other way around.
Yeah.
So.
Well, they also need insurance. I mean, they're playing pretty well right now, but as we've seen, fortunes on the team can change very quickly, and they need a hedge against potentially maybe some of the players starting to struggle on their team, and they want to rotate TJ in. So I think Thieves have got a pretty good set of players to work with now, whereas on the opposite side, I agree, Dallas's margin for error and their depth is essentially non-existent at the moment.
Yeah, and it makes you wonder if they're going to make more changes if things aren't going their way. I mean, if they're not winning. Bro, like I said, they were just a top 2, top 3 team when they changed. So if they're not... If their performances are going down for who you texting over there? You got a little girlfriend.
No, go ahead.
They
You got a
will 100%
girlfriend.
make more changes, in my opinion.
You
If
think so?
it keeps going down this path, how could they not? Like, you go from a top 2, top 3 team to now you're looking pretty poor. It's like, okay, now we have to go back to the drawing board and figure out what to do next. And like that's just a situation they put themselves in, right? Like it's now it's the pressure is on them now. Like they made a change and it didn't start off great for them.
No, not at all.
Which is why I would have liked with the HUKE move, and why I think that was good business from Thieves is Dallas didn't get a single player back in that transaction, right? If they gotten TJ back, then we've been like, okay, well, you know, if this doesn't work out for Dallas and they can just sub TJ in and make it work, now they're going to have to dip into either a substitute who's currently on a team and get a buyout for him from another CDL team, or one of these amateur players is not currently under contract. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens to Dallas here. Also, their margin for error, I don't know what the tiebreakers are like currently in Team A, but Dallas doesn't have an easy match on Sunday. Their last
I think
match
they're like
of the week,
4th right now, technically.
Yeah, the last match of the week, and they're playing Minnesota, who are very good. And if Dallas somehow end up 2 and 3, they're going to start in losers, which I think would be a huge
Optic
development.
and Dallas and losers.
Yeah.
Crazy, bro. It's crazy. It's not what you expected, that's for sure. Definitely not what you expected. I actually have a tweet coming in from the CDL Intel. I want to bring it up, but let's take a look.
Coming in, sir.
I'm getting
This is great, dude. I do feel kind of bad though. I'll throw you an insane stat, right? Like this is a Ben stat. Shout out to Yudi. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, for pointed this out to me. But okay, so Octane, right?
Yeah.
The last pre-franchise event that Octane played was City Build Champs 2019 on 100 Thieves. They went 3-0 in their groups. Then they lost to LG, and then they won 6 straight matches in losers before losing in the grand finals to United, right? So they won 9 series at that event, Champs 2019. Since then, Seattle Surge have won 9 series.
Oof, that's brutal.
Damn.
I think they won 5 last year. They won 4 this year. So it's pretty tough. I just thought it was the most ridiculous stat of all time. That,
What we'll say about Sam before we get to predictions for this weekend, I think going forward with this team, we'll see if he makes better decisions about the players he teams with, because last year they didn't make the right decisions and it didn't work out, and then this year they didn't have the flexibility they had before, and so going into this bigger free agency market, he might be able to get himself in a better situation. I don't know what image you just pulled up though from Standy. Like,
well, that's Dylan attach. I think. I think that's Dylan. I think that's and Standy said, "Who is she?" with hard eyes, and it's a picture of attach.
Yo,
but
who is that? I need me some of that.
That's attached.
Oh shit!
That's Dylan. So,
no, I knew it was a joke, guys. It was.
Listen, Zinni's been on a weird gimmick lately, guys.
I'm the Aiden Ross of COD now. I'm the Aiden Ross of COD.
Yeah. Apparently, Zinni's the Aiden Ross of COD. So.
Yeah, Daddy Rap, chill out, son.
Come on, what's wrong with you coming in here calling Tactical Rabbit a daddy? What's wrong with you?
Sorry, Daddy Rap.
Dude, I'm losing full, bro.
I make a vid with that shit.
All right, well, anyway, Dallas gets fucking slapped, guys. They get 3-0'd. They lose this control 3-1. It wasn't even close the whole time. Even when I was watching the match in the team speak, as soon as it started, I said, Dallas, they don't look good today. They don't look like they're on point. I think they're gonna get 3-0'd. I didn't think that yesterday, but as I saw the series going on, I was like, they're gonna get smoked. So they end up getting 3-0'd. Florida come out. You see the frustrations coming out of the Dallas guys. We'll see if they could turn it around. I have high hopes for this team because I do think Fel's a great player, and I do think they are a great team. It's just frustrating, obviously, with HUKE being traded, or not traded, but just being tossed to another team. And not seeing XCO anymore. It's just kind of, I don't know, it's just kind of sad for me to watch. It's sad and frustrating and mixed emotions, but they end up getting 3-0'd. Not what you want to see out of your world champs, Dallas Empire, but, you know, maybe they'll come back and they'll bounce back, and we'll see what they could do. But good games to them, and shout out to the Florida Mutineers. I saw, actually, the Mutineers were actually in the chat. So shout out to the Mutineers, man. Let's get Mutineers in the chat and show them some love. What's up, Ben?
One scenario I want to toss out. So we talked that Dallas is going to play Minnesota on Sunday. Florida is going to play LAG on Saturday, which is a huge match because if LAG managed to win that game, let's say that by the grace of some insanity, Dallas ended up beating Minnesota. You've got this 3-way tie now at 2 and 3. Who does Paris play this weekend? Paris plays Toronto on Saturday, so there is some possible chaos options going on here in Group A.
It's Toronto a guaranteed #1 seed, so in theory,
I think they would. But if
they're not,
Paris won, then you would have a 4-way tie at 2 and 3 from 3 to 6. So that'd be kind of wild.
Yeah, that would be kind of wild. That'll definitely be fucking wild. Things are gonna get real crazy here. We were just talking about it when we turned the show on. The COD League right now is fucking nuts, guys. This is like one of the most competitive leagues I've ever seen. No bullshit. It's so fun to just see. It doesn't matter who's playing anymore. Like, I feel like no matter who's playing, it's always so exciting because you never know what the hell's going to happen. So it's just really fun to watch. It's really fun to watch. Shout out to Florida again. But let's get into the predictions, man. We obviously have some matches coming up tomorrow. And, guys, do we have some fucking big ones. We got some big matches coming in tomorrow. And I'm really excited for this day, Ben.
Yeah, give me a second. I'm trying to find the slate with the matches
bring
here.
them up real quick.
Take your time, Ben.
Second one is so juicy, dude.
Which one?
I was looking forward to this one, Thieves New York. Man. I was looking forward to this one even before the change. I thought this was going to be one of the bangers of the weekend, even before he came in.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. And let's get a shout out to Clayster, man, for the birthday boy. This guy's 29 years old. Happy birthday to Clayster, man. It's been an absolute pleasure watching you play over the years. It's been a pleasure playing with you and winning championships alongside you. You've been a good friend, man, so just wanted to give you a huge shout out. It was also fun hanging out with you, playing some games yesterday. I don't know if you guys checked the stream last night, but we were having a lot of fun. So let's just get a Wale in the chat, man, and just show Clay some love, man. Go send him some tweets. Go say happy birthday.
He's getting old, man.
He's 29 years old, and he's still one of the best players in the game. It's not even close.
Old enough to be my daddy now.
Isn't he? What the fuck?
Yeah, no, it's just weird. Tom, a couple other birthday shouts we should get in. Shout out to one of the OG legends in the Call of Duty scene and really esports in general. Mr. Puckett is his birthday today.
Oh, really? Shout out to Chris Puckett, man. I didn't know it was his birthday.
And then also the man, the myth, the legend over at Player Relations, Spencer Peterson, was his birthday today. So shout out to Spence.
That's lit. Shout out to Spencer. Shout out to Chris Puckett, man. Happy birthday to everybody, man. A lot of legends, man. A lot of legends were born on this day, apparently. I don't fucking know. But we also have Enable in the chat saying, let's get a Wooma. Shout out to Enable, man. We got a lot of legends.
Shout out to Compton.
A lot. Shout out to Dick Compton, guys. I don't know if you tune into the GTA RP at night, but that's my guy, Dick Compton. We also got Scraps, who's been joining in, also known as Bald Terry. We call him Tank. So if you guys ever want to come hang out and watch us play some GTA, we'll be there. But let's get into the predictions tomorrow. We're starting things off with Paris Legion going up against Toronto Ultra. Now, for me, I think Toronto's just too strong. So I'm personally going to go with a 3-1 Toronto here. I could see Paris with an upset here. Depends on what kind of Paris we're going to get tomorrow. They just came off a W, so maybe they're feeling nice. I just think Toronto right now is just firing on all cylinders, and their teamwork just seems like it's on another level. So I'm personally going to go with Toronto 3-1.
I got Toronto 3-0. Sorry, Paris boys. I don't see it.
I have Toronto 3-0, and before we go any further, I'll make the claim now. Toronto Ultra going back-to-back major championships.
Wow.
Okay.
I mean, it's a take, but it's a good one.
It's a good take. I mean, they look really good, Jen. I'm not gonna lie. They look
definitely the best team right now, right? Like,
I think agreed.
Yeah, they look really, really good. And again, this is a team that you just don't. They have talent, but they just have more than that. They show like a lot of teamwork. Their chemistry seems to be on point. They seem like they're all on the same page. So it's just really exciting to watch them play. But Tactical Rab, what do you got?
I'll give Paris a map. I mean, yeah, they'll give them a 3-1. I just remember the series Toronto played against LAG the other day, and they were scraping across the line in a couple of those maps. So I think they're way too good fundamentally to not win this series, but anything can happen. Still a percentages at the end of the day. But
I
I
agree.
think Toronto win this one. That's kind of what I was saying earlier, the fact that Toronto already guaranteed first seed. So actually, one other thing to say about Toronto, like the series win streak they're on, I just wanted to look at it 1 second because they're currently on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8
Maroon tactical rap.
series win streak, baby.
Shit.
So they're probably thinking, all right, let's win this. If they win this and the major, I think they'll break Faze's record of series win streaks if they win the major without losing a series, because Faze went on 11 streak to start the season.
Yep.
And Toronto are absolutely incredible scenes.
Crazy.
Trying to do that mid-season, which is very rare.
Very
with all the teams
rare.
improving.
Yeah, shout out to Toronto, man. They look great, but let's hop over into the Game Fuel marquee match of the day. It's going to be New York Subliners going up against the LA Thieves. This one's going to be fucking sick. I cannot wait. We obviously have Hydra coming into New York. He just had a superstar series against Optic, Chicago. He dropped like a 1.58 or something with a sub, which is fucking nuts. So shout out to Hydra. Shout out to all the guys in New York. They've been playing really well. And then on the other side, you have LA Thieves who have also been playing really well. And now you have a change coming in where TJ Hauly goes to the bench. They bring in HUKE. And HUKE the Nuke, man. He's no joke. You saw the impact he put on with Dallas, and now that they don't have him over there anymore, it's really starting to hurt Dallas. So we'll see how HUKE comes in with these LA Thieves guys, and we'll see how they play, man. I think it's going to be a really good match. I'm obviously going to go with New York 3-0, but I'm curious to see what you guys have to say. Ben, who do you got?
I think right now I really like what I'm seeing from New York. I think Thieves are a little bit of an unknown with HUKE. I think we're going to see a real deep map, but I'm just going to give New York the edge just because they've got a little bit more practice, especially in S&D. So 3-2 New York.
Zinni, the master predictor.
All right.
What is the master predictor feeling right now?
Crystal ball out.
Okay. I'm thinking first map New York 250 to 143. Second map. No, I got New York. I got New York 3-1, man. I got New York 3-1. I think New York has looked really solid, especially at Hardpoint. I don't know anything about Thieves though. Like I'm sort of going into this blind, but as the prophet, I feel it. It's 3-1. It's 3-1 New York.
I like that. Tactical Rab, who do you got?
I don't know. It's so tough. I think I'm gonna say Thieves, just because I really want to see this team just come out and absolutely not demolish New York. I like the guys in New York. I think they're a great team, and they probably should be favorites here. But from what I've heard, Thieves have been frying in scrims. I don't know who they've been playing or whatever, but apparently they've been looking good. I just think they're such a scary team as of late. This series was going to be a banger anyway, and we talk about the honeymoon, and I don't know, but if there's one team I think could have a honeymoon, it might be this one. And actually, one thing to say, there was, you remember the intro video that they did with who came in? He had the dart, he threw the dart at the dartboard. It was Clayster on the dartboard, dude. He's been prepping for this moment. He's gonna turn on Clay, game 5, round 11 for the series win. Thieves take it 3-2.
Rab, get the fuck out of the call. Get out. No, I'm just kidding. But it is funny. Why was he throwing darts at Clay though? Why was he throwing darts at like Cryptsix or Illy or you know what I'm saying?
Hold on.
They knew this series was happening.
Hold on.
What, Zin? What's the problem?
I just saw a vision. We're going to see a 1v1 Hydra versus HUKE, 5-5, second map. It's going to be checkmate, search, and destroy. HUKE's going to win it. That's the only map they win. It's going to be 3-1 New York.
Okay. Interesting, Zin. Okay, Zin, if this happens tomorrow, I'm gonna lose my shit.
If this happens, I'm fucking playing the lottery.
Yo, I'm actually gonna lose my shit if that happens.
Can you fucking imagine checkmate search?
I'll lose my fucking mind. I'll lose my mind. Let me tell you. But make sure we clip that. Make sure we write that down because we're gonna have a good match tomorrow. I'm really excited for tomorrow's show because this is gonna be lit. And we got Los Angeles Guerrillas going up against Florida Mutineers. Obviously, Florida, they came out today. They looked really good versus Dallas. They come out with a 3-0. Again, I think it ultimately depends on what kind of Florida we're going to see tomorrow. Los Angeles Guerrillas, they look good. They look shaky. They look okay. They're another team that's on and off. They're a team that looks good, but I just don't know if they're going to execute. I'm personally going to go with Florida Mutineers here, and I'm going to go 3-1. I think LA might take a map or two, but I think for the most part, Florida's looking strong and they're finding their rhythm. I could see them taking this. I think today gave them a lot of confidence as well, 3-0ing Dallas. But Ben, what do you think?
Well, These two teams have played a couple of times this year, and if I remember correctly, Florida had won both. I always lose when I make the Florida predictions, but I'm going to say that they'll win back-to-back games, and I think if they win back-to-back games correct, I think they would then lock in their winners position, I believe, based on I think their wins they have so far in this group. I could be wrong, but it's a huge match for seeding, both in this tournament and also for the standings at the end of the season. So I'm going to say Florida 3-1.
I like that. You stole mine, but it's okay. Tactical Rap, who do you got? And then we'll end with Zinni, the master predictor.
Yeah, we got to give him the last time. I think Florida will take it. I mean, the last time they played was Stage 2 Major Losers Round 1, 3-0 for the Mutineers. Different team that Gorillas had at the time. I think, like, if there's one time I'm going to put my faith in Florida, it's because it's been shaky, but it's got to be this time, right? We talked about there's only a couple of times this season that they've gone back-to-back with wins. And here beating Dallas, I mean, obviously a great series for those guys. If you can't beat LAG next up, obviously LAG are solid, but I don't know what to say really if you're the Mutineers. It's also kind of a must-win series in the sense that you look down at their potential to get out of to champs, right? Like LAG are in that spot right now. But if you're on LAG side as well, really what LAG have just got to do is not lose to the teams below them. So it's a really big series for a number of reasons, like champs seeding and also getting to the major course. But I'll take Mutineers I think 3-1. If it goes game 5, I think maybe LAG.
Yeah, it's going to be a good match regardless. I think all three of these matches are going to be exciting to watch, and I'm just really excited to get it going. But, guys, you already know the deal, man. We're going to do the predictions. We did those, and now we're going to go to you guys in the chat. Ask away.
Sorry?
Ask them. Oh, yeah, Zinni, you didn't go. Go ahead. The master predictor. Go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay,
sorry.
Okay,
I apologize.
No, it's all right.
You want them to drop a Luma? You want them to drop a Luma for
No,
you?
no, I don't want that. No, it's
No
all
Luma?
right.
Okay.
1 second. It's coming to me. I'm seeing it now. It's going to be a last map. Okay, so right now we're on the last map. The last map's Miami. I'm seeing a 2v1, 5-5. It's going to be Assault and Chino heading up against Skies. Skies will find Chino. Assault will get the trade. 6-5 last map LAG.
6-5 last map LAG?
Yes.
Wow, interesting. Bro, it's an interesting prediction there, Zin, but it does make things more exciting to see if you're right. If you're right, I'm going to lose my fucking mind.
I'm fucking right.
If you do this every series of the season, it's going to be
imagine like everything he says just comes true. But again, guys, we're going to go to the chat, man. Enough with the Lumas, guys. Zinni said he didn't want to spam Lumas, and you guys fucking did it anyway. What the fuck?
Correct.
But let's get some questions in the chat, man. And then on top of that, I want to give a huge shout out to the chat today. This is the first time we have kept the sub train going from start to finish during a show. It is absolutely unreal. We're on a 258 sub train. So I just want to show love to the Zoo Mafia, man. Thank you guys for coming in and supporting the stream. It means a lot. So let's drop a Woo Mafia in the chat. Show you guys some love. Give yourselves a pat on the back. More subs are coming in, but please, guys, ask away, ask any questions, and we'll do the best we can to pick them out of the chat and answer them off. Why do we always hear the Optic players getting crap from other teams, like Envoy with the flanking or Venom saying Scump is old and can't shoot compared to other teams? Bro, I'm going to be honest, man. Everybody talks shit, man, including the Optic guys. You see the Optic guys in their videos, they talk shit about players too. It goes both ways, man. Everybody talks shit about everybody. It's part of the game, man. It's fucking banter. I love everybody in the league. I'm friends with everybody. At least I like to think I am. If anybody's talking shit about COD, it's nothing personal, man. It's never anything personal. It's just how it is. It's entertaining, and people like to talk shit. So at the end of the day, I see a lot of people, mentioning something Venom said, but at the same time, let's not forget Optic taking shots at some of the other players on some of their videos and stuff like that. It goes both ways, and nobody said anything. I don't mind.
I was joking for sure. So I don't know if you've seen the Venom thing in that video. Like, it's actually hilarious.
Yeah, I saw it. He was
for sure joking,
That's an interesting tweet from Easy Mac. I'm looking at the challenger stats here, and it seems by far the overall kill leader was Methods. I'm not shocked. Let's see. Overall hardpoint kill leader, Methods. Search and destroy kill leader, Methods.
What?
Control leader, Methods. Wow.
Yeah, I think that might be. I think that list might be a little bit fucking fugazi.
Wow,
What do you guys think?
He's pretty good, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, sorry. I thought I was muted.
Zim, what the fuck are you on about, you fucking asshole?
I'm not gonna roast.
Can we get some questions in the chat? We got people coming in. Illy dropped the .92 with it.
Wait, hold on.
Oh my
Ben,
God, go ahead.
You're still going?
Wait, Ben, roast me.
Go ahead,
Kill
Ben.
leader, look at the Slayer rating.
Ben,
right now.
I gotta fix my mic, so fucking roast this guy.
I was about to ask how your team plays in the lead if you want to let everybody know.
Well, one of our star players went to a pro team, and we played with a fill-in with 1 day of practice. And we went 5-1 in Hardpoints, couldn't win a search or a control, which sometimes will happen when you have no practice. So go fuck yourself, Ben.
What about in your standings and during the group stages of the league? How'd you guys finish?
4-3. We beat the best teams, lost to the worst teams. We beat UT Crew, we beat NY Academy. I fucking forget who else we beat. But yeah. I'm sorry, Ben. What's next?
Is there some tension? Tactical rap. I'm feeling a little bit of tension in the call rap.
I'm
You know
just
what I'm
paying
saying?
attention, dude. I mean, I'm just here for the Parasite X methods dream team.
Yeah, we
that
got.
eventually collapses.
I tried to get Parasite on the show today, but his PC's all fucked up. Or something like that. He couldn't get on, but
he just did a move to Dallas, I think, or
oh,
Texas.
okay. So that's what it is. But let's get into a question while you two dickheads go at it. Let's get another question going. Illy dropped a .92 with an XM4, a .95 with a Krig in stage 2, then a .92 with a sub in stage 3. What's your take? I mean, again, first of all, .95s, .92s, it's really not that bad. I think a lot of it comes down to how he's playing, some of the plays he's making on the map. Again, there's a lot of things that it comes down to, not just stats. So I wouldn't look too heavy into that. I personally think Illy's a great player, and I think he's a playmaker, and he has a really high ceiling. Obviously, he hasn't been playing to like the full potential Illy that we know he can play at. But we'll see. We'll end up seeing how he plays through. But what do you guys think? What do you think about Illy?
I mean, you can drop .95s like that. As long as your teammates are slaying around you, and I just think that something's just a big disconnect in the team right now. Yeah, he can play a little bit better individually now that they're gonna have to make up the slaying that Collar especially was bringing in stage 1. So I don't know. I think it's a big question, Tom. I think does he work well in that role, and if not, if they move him back to an AR, how do they fill that spot of a second sub or really just another SMG player?
Philly's defense, I mean, it's not easy to go from an AR to an SMG mid-game, right? Like, completely different play style, completely different timings. I will give him the benefit of the doubt. I don't think he was a very strong AR in this game, but I do think his potential as a sub is a little better than it was. The issue I see with Dallas is, like, how much time are they going to give the overall team to perform, right? Like we talked about Fellow. If you want me to be completely honest, I do think Fellow's a good player. I do not think we'll see Fellow on this team long term, right? I believe this was like a temporary, let's pick up Tyler for now, and we'll go from there. That's just my opinion, right? Like I can't see this Dallas Empire roster playing a champs together.
Maybe. It depends on how they play. But they just got 3-0 today, and they didn't look that good last week either. So, I mean...
Honeymoons, listen, if you're not playing good in the honeymoon, it's very, very, like, don't get me wrong, like, obviously you can improve, but, like, respawn-wise, I feel like honeymoon period's the best time we'll see teams.
Hey, can I ask you guys a question? What do you think is going on with Slash's tweet here? Do you think he's seeking? Do you think that there's something actually going on? I know Enable wants to get into the call, so let's drag him in here. But what do you guys think about this tweet?
User was moved.
I think it's a seek, and it's a typical one out of him. He's generating a lot of interactions here.
And those of you listening on audio site or Spotify or Apple or whatever, it's basically just a gif of him smoking a cigar.
Yeah, that's good.
Hey, you're good, Dick Compton. You came in hot. I was just saying this gif that Austin Litico, aka Slasher, tweeted out of some guy leaning back with his feet kicked up, smoking a cigar, smiling. I wonder what's going on
Slasher
here.
to Dallas confirmed.
He found himself on a starting roster.
Slasher to Dallas, maybe.
But Slasher versus Crim, holy fuck, that would be the main event of the evening. Fire Island.
If you're Rambo Ray, that'd be a tough one to work around there.
Yeah, that'd be that's the perfect situation though for them to drop beef.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I agree.
They're both in bad positions.
They might just need to fucking box it out. Honestly,
listen, it may work for a couple weeks, right? Honeymoon, everything's going well. Just fucking wait. If those two teams, it'd be like Thanos versus Iron Man. I don't. Oh shit. I mean, sorry. Godzilla versus Kong is a better one. They're two fat fucks, and then you got obviously big personalities. Yeah, Godzilla versus Kong.
Guys, Zinni apparently has a fat card for like 15 years or something like that.
10 years. 10 years from when I lost the weight. I lost the weight at 17. When I'm 27 years old and 4 years from now, I officially am no longer able to make fat jokes. So I got 4 more years of it.
Okay, sounds good, Zin. But let's take one more question, man. We also have an Abel in here, so if you guys want to ask him any questions. But somebody said, when do teams know when to make playstyle changes and when they should copy other teams? I think of a team, I don't know. I feel like copying comes down to like, right, you see a team like Atlanta Faze or Toronto, maybe you go back, watch their film, see something that they do that worked, and you guys can obviously copy that. In terms of play style, I mean, that comes down to the player individually. I feel like everybody individually has different play styles and different ways they like to play the game. So, I mean, that's all personal preference. But in terms of teamwork stuff and what to do on the map, I could definitely see teams coming out and maybe copying stuff from some of the top teams. But anybody else have anything to add on to that?
That was a good answer.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you. You don't really compliment me much on this show, so it's always nice when you compliment me.
I give you plenty of good gas. Don't come at me.
You do?
Like that.
Okay. Whatever you say. Somebody said, would Octane fare better with younger up-and-coming players than the older, better-known players he's been the last couple years? I also saw somebody saying, do you think that Seattle should make another change? Hot take, possibly for Octane. I think Seattle has a good team right now. I think they made a change. They picked a Decimate. They played Faze today. So give them more time because they also look good against Faze. They smoked them at 1 and they kept the map 2 close. Could have won map 2. And then obviously 3 and 4 was a little bit different. But I think Seattle with a little bit more time, they have potential to be a great team. So I think we need to give them a little bit more time before we could say that. But I don't know if anybody else has anything they want to add. I know Tactical Rab hit me with a little ooh.
I just don't agree with the take. Like, I don't see any world where that works, like where that improves the team. I mean, I think the team's going to be fine. Just, I don't know. They've just got a tough ride, like getting to champs. I think you obviously got to give them time. One thing I'm intrigued about is I know Brian Saint said on the Reddit like last night that rosters lock before stage 5. So I think, well, I'm sure we're going to see chaos continue on the Rostermania side, but these teams realistically don't have that long. Like if you are going to make another change, I mean, of course you have this final week and then the major and then stage 4, but after that it's all locked up for stage 5 and champs. Of course, I guess you can bring in your substitute and stuff, whoever you signed, but rosters locked. So that's something to think about for all these teams. And I think Zin made a good point regarding Dallas at champs, right? Like, can you see this Dallas team winning champs again? No. Like, I can't.
No, not with this team right now and the way they're playing.
So it's like, I mean, there you go.
Just the way they're playing. I mean, I could see the team winning. I mean, I could see anybody winning, honestly. I mean, we saw fucking EG win in World War II.
I was going to go there, but I'm glad you did.
Yeah, I mean, like, and it's no...
Don't bring that shit up.
Listen, and it's no disrespect at all to EG. It's just like, let's be honest here. Like the whole year they have shown absolutely nothing to win champs, and they come out and win champs. So it's like at the end of the day,
they play good at Seattle, though. To be fair, some of those guys.
They got 6-0 swept to the finals by.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying, guys. You know what I'm saying. All right, we should have won that shit. No, I'm just kidding. That's just me being salty, but. Yeah, but anybody can fucking win. But I think of right now, they're not looking too hot. I'm gonna be honest.
I got a good last question here that I see someone in the chat.
All right,
it's been talked about before. So someone has a serious question about the S&D format, and the guy says, "Is the CS:GO better 1-2-3?" I used to like the round 11 format of COD. However, the more and more defensive advantage I see, the more I hate this format. In my opinion, should they implement a win by 2 format?
We might see matches going on for fucking ever with how defensive heavy some of these maps are. We might see checkmate. The score might be 25-25.
But is it not the worst idea though? Like, I actually am kind of warm to that idea. I think that's pretty interesting.
I think that's interesting. I think winning by 2 would be cool.
We talked about that before. I don't know when.
I mean, I think when checkmate. Okay, let's assume standoff comes in and we get rid of checkmate, right? I think that evens things up a bit, right? Because I think Express is a pretty even map. Raids pretty damn even. If anything, you can make an argument that offense is even better on raid. Or I mean, I'd like to see the stats. I'm sure it's.
I think it's bang on 50-50 the last time I saw. Like,
I can check right now for you.
Yeah, so raid and Express are very close. Miami, I mean, yeah, Miami is going to be a little bit defense heavy for the most part. And I don't know.
Miami could go on forever.
I feel like you get checkmate out. We'll start seeing a lot more even search and destroy rounds. Maybe. I hope so.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Nothing like a round 11 though.
Yeah.
This is my
I'll
thought.
let you know right now. So the win percentage for offense on Checkmate is 38.7%.
Okay.
And then on Miami, it's 38.58.
Oh, so they're both pretty similar.
Yeah.
What about what about the rest of the maps? If you have them all in hand.
So overall, offenses are winning 44% of rounds. Express is 45% and change. Garrison, obviously, we're not playing anymore, so take that out. Moscow, 47.74%. Raid is over 50%, just a little bit over.
Yeah, so we have 3 maps where it's pretty damn even, and then 2 maps where it's pretty defense sided. So, I think standoff could help with that. But who knows? Maybe in this game, maybe defense will be OP, right? I mean, we're not going to really know until we get our hands on it. But even getting one of those out, I think will even things up a bit. And to disagree with whoever's like, I understand the win by 2. Like maybe that's more fair. But as Rab said and people in the chat said, there's nothing like a win around 11, and I don't think we have enough time to go to round 27 if rounds keep going.
Left your channel.
For sure. I think the last question that I see that I kind of want to end off on is somebody mentioned with LAN coming up. Obviously, we've been playing online for the past year and a half. People are saying, are any players going to be exposed, and who?
Oh God!
I already told you.
Hot dig out of your thought.
If it does happen, I'll be fucking tweeting him, hamster.
Oh yeah, you're gonna be tweeting them personally.
I already told you. If anybody who's been going off online goes to LAN and plays like a fucking hamster, I'll be tweeting them hamster gifs.
Okay.
You gotta give them one event though, because
yeah,
like
you can't just give them one.
Everybody will be playing their first LAN of the year.
But that's the problem is like that, and that's what I was talking about the other day. Is like we're going into LAN. Like some people are going into LAN for their first time at the most important time of the year, and if they don't perform well, which could be kind of fugazi because it's but the problem is like they don't have any experience going into some of the biggest events.
Okay, there's no fans, so like what? Basically, this event is just fair Call of Duty. It's not an actual LAN in the sense that there's outside, fucking green walls in the crowd. No, it's a no crowd LAN. It's your team versus the other team.
It's different though, Zin. It's
your
different atmosphere.
Your teams that haven't played in that environment for like 13, 14 months.
If they don't play well, it's because they shit their pants, and that makes you a hamster.
Yeah, but you could just have one bad
shit
event.
his pants for a month or two, and then he was
no,
MVP.
He didn't shit his pants. He was different. Shotzi is different.
No, he shit his pants.
I feel like Shotzi is an
He was a LAN world champion.
How
do you mean he shit his pants?
It doesn't matter. He was in Halo frying, and when he was coming to COD, it was a difficult transition, so he probably had a little bit of nerves. For sure. People are saying Luma, but I'm telling you, bro, he definitely came in and was uncomfortable, guys. For sure.
Well,
he went 4 and 40.
Hold on. He was also playing in front of a crowd where the crowd was screaming as fuck. Remember in London, the poor fucking bastard. You hear the shit they were screaming at him in London? That's not the case for. That's not the case for any of these new players playing on LAN for the first time.
To be fair, too, he was also running a pretty difficult role. Wasn't he running like Smoke Trophy for them last year? At the beginning of the year, and they switched him off.
Yeah,
and he was basically like Hill Bitch. They basically put him in a better role.
All I'm saying is, if somebody goes to LAN and just gets smoked their first event or whatever on LAN, I'm not writing them off as a fucking hamster. Is what I'm saying. If somebody like Awakening goes to LAN, right? It's his first time going to LAN. We've been watching Awakening online for months now, and he's a fucking beast. He goes to LAN, he shits the sheets for a couple days. You're gonna fucking tweet this guy a fucking hamster gift?
He played at COD Champs, Black Ops 4.
I think you give him more than one LAN, Tom.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying. And you give him more than one LAN.
There will be pro players that get exposed. 1,000%.
Yeah, they're
all
also.
I'm saying is if people are gonna make changes off one event online, you better make a change after one event on LAN. Who
made a change off one event online?
Zin, is it stage 4 LAN and then is stage 5 majors or not majors champs, or is there stage 5 and then champs?
I think it's so we have stage 3 major online, stage 4, stage 5, and then champs.
Yeah. I mean,
now that I think about it,
making a change after.
Now that I think about it, I was mistaken. I think my team was the only team that made a change after one event, and it worked out quite well. I was not. I was not talking about that one. But what I'm saying is, if people are putting a lot of stock into these events, and someone's playing super good online, and then they go to LAN and play well, how do you give them the benefit of the doubt? Because like, what happens if the second LAN they get shit on? You know what I mean?
Well, that's a different situation, but you gotta remember is this is gonna be a weird situation for a lot of people. There are teams that haven't played a LAN in what, 14 months, some 15 months, because the last event they went to is Atlanta, some teams LA, right? So you've got that situation. You've got all the precautions that are going to go on. So people got to take COVID testing. They got to deal with all the COVID on-site stuff. You got teams like Toronto that have an added complexity of when they travel to this event, they got to quarantine when they come back. So that's going to be a whole curveball they've got to deal with. Do you have also the factors that is a totally different routine from when you play at home? So I think combined to all of that thing, we could see some crazy results at stage 4.
Hold on.
I'm not going to take
play
it
at
super...
home. All these players live in Texas. They're going to hop in an Uber.
Not every player lives in Texas, so.
A lot of them do. I think 8 teams live in Texas. So yes, some people will have.
Still a lot of other teams then.
Some people have to stay at a hotel and practice at the venue and then play. It's called LAN. I'm not giving people the benefit of the doubt if they listen. I understand it's their first time on LAN. There is no fucking crowd. If you're shitting your pants when there's no crowd, what are you going to do when the green wall's screaming at you?
You have to also remember that we know historically LAN gameplay is different.
I'm agreeing with you, Zin. I'm just saying you can't just look at one series. You know what I'm saying?
Not like one series, but a whole event. I mean, listen, you can tell a lot. You can tell a lot per event. Of course, one series does not define a player. Even a whole event won't define a player.
I'll give you the whole event. I'll give that to you.
I don't agree because we always know that LAN COD is a little bit different, and I think it may take
that's the thing.
The first event could be a little bit funky with results and some big upsets because teams got to get used to that kind of like mindset and environment and how the game actually plays. Which is why
stage 4 major just void. We're just gonna make it void because it's gonna be different.
I'm not voiding it at all. It's,
no.
It's a legit result. What happens.
You're taking everything too literally, bro.
Yeah,
You're taking everything too literally. Like that's not what he's saying.
Yeah.
He's just saying. What?
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say.
I made this point yesterday on the show. Like that's why we may see some teams run a pre-LAN because how many players in this league have played this game in a LAN environment this year? I assume that number is 0.
Why the fuck? Hold on, I gotta step in. Why is everybody saying LAN? Guys,
what point did I make?
What point did Ben make that was a LAN? Because what he just said is 100% facts. 100% facts. And I agree with Ben. It is a different game on LAN. Sometimes some of the angles that you hold. Sometimes L triggering might be a little bit better on LAN. Sometimes there's certain angles that are better. Sometimes there's certain things you can do on LAN, and it's a learning process. Like somebody,
you're taking a way different tune than we did a couple days ago when we argued about a LAN versus online. Now you're going back on what you were saying the other day.
No, Denny, the other day, first of all, fuck you for even saying that. The other day, we were talking about players from going online to on LAN and then being better on LAN than online and vice versa. And I said that if you're good on LAN or online, for the most part, you would be good on LAN. That's what I said. And you said, some people are really good online and really bad on LAN. It's very rare.
I never said that. I never said some people are really good.
Okay, so what did you say?
Bit of a difference.
So what did you say?
I used HUKE as an example, and I prefaced it by saying HUKE is an S-tier player both on LAN and online. We got in this whole debate. I said he's more dominant consistently online, and I will stand by that, and every single player will. My whole point is...
And my argument was that his ceiling is the same, both online and on LAN.
Listen. Okay, so let's take a player that's performing online right now.
It's such a ridiculous argument. I hate this argument. I hate this argument.
Well, let me finish first.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, so there's a player performing online, right? He goes to the stage 4 major. Granted, there's circumstances and COVID protocols and whatnot. He doesn't perform. That automatically will get his teammates and team thinking, well, shit, maybe he's not as good on LAN. And then do you risk... Okay, so then you're going to go back online for the league matches for seeding, then go back to LAN again. So will you take the risk of giving the player the benefit of the doubt after they didn't perform on LAN the first time? You go back online, he performs again. Then what happens if you go back on LAN, doesn't perform again?
That's so situational.
Listen, exactly. Yeah. And I hate this. I'm just, again, I think the online to on LAN is so exaggerated between pro players, between fans. I don't care if everybody disagrees with me. I don't give a fuck. Everybody spamming Luma. I don't give a fuck. I think you're wrong. All the pro players who think that there's just players who are just so much better on LAN, it's fucking fugazi. For the most part, the best players online are the best players on LAN. It has been the same for years to come. HUKE is an S-tier player online. He's an S-tier player on LAN. It doesn't fucking matter.
False. You have.
I know. Slasher is the main culprit. Is the main culprit. Slasher went to fucking Texas to get the good internet, and how did that play out?
Oh shit!
It's the same shit.
Tom, can I give you my take?
Yeah, go ahead.
So, yeah, I kind of agree with you, but I kind of disagree with you, and I don't think it's. You're right with like the ceiling is the same, but I've always thought that the difference in players online has not even back in AW and shit, right? Where like online was actually super fucking important and just host fucky and whatever. It had nothing to do with internet connection though. I think it's all mentality of being in that LAN environment, like you guys were talking about. And I mean, this is just real life shit. Like nervousness is a thing. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I know. But
in any sport.
Ian,
but what I'm saying.
All right, go ahead. No, go ahead. I thought you were
There's
done.
people who are more comfortable in their bedrooms, right? Playing with no distraction, the light off. They're playing on their own chair, their own setup. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then there's those people, some of them can't handle the pressure, like of not being able to hear your teammates, right? Because you got the fucking green fucking wall chant.
Can you name those players, please?
Yeah. Can you? I was gonna say.
I always hate this argument because nobody.
Give me 3 players. 3. Give me 3.
Nobody ever names players in this situation, which is I
mean,
understand your
I don't want to throw players.
Yeah, but this is the issue. You got to have evidence.
Wait, what do you mean?
I'll say this. I don't want to be that guy. There's been a good amount of players I've been playing competitive COD, right? That were amazing online. Okay, and they went to LAN and they've been amazing, and everyone talks about them, right? Especially kids from the S&D scene. Like you look at Simp, right? Recently at BZ, whatever. There's been a lot of players that were great online, big names in like the amateur scene, S&D scene, that literally just were bust. And there's more than 3 that I could name right now, but no one ever talks about that. Or maybe I shouldn't say bust, but very below average players. And I don't think it's because of internet or anything like that. I think they just can't handle the pressure as well. It's a whole different environment, bro.
The one thing I will say is this year is a little different. I agree, because for the most part, you have a lot of players in closer locations, right? You got fair servers, and then what Krim said. Listen, I'm an open-minded guy. I'm open for a good debate. The one thing I will say though, so like I'll use Kyler again for example, right? The tick rate's different when you're playing online compared to playing on LAN. It used to be. Now there's actually 60 hertz or 60 tick rate practice, so at least it's more consistent in that end. So for example, let's say Kyler was dropping 50 consistently in Black Ops 4 on, I don't know, 12 hertz or whatever the fuck it was. It's a lot harder for him to abuse that type of mechanical gameplay and the corners and everything when the tick rate's higher. So that I will say that things have been moving towards a direction where online is more similar than it used to be to LAN.
Listen, I just want to add on to what Ian was saying. Ian, I'm not disagreeing with what you just said, and I'm not disagreeing with some of the things Vinny's saying. I'm saying the exaggeration of it. Like I feel like it's just. I feel like people blow it. They're like, "Holy shit, we're going back to LAN. People are gonna be shit." But at the end of the day,
people already shit online.
People already shit online. People already get online on LAN. And at the most, bro, I've been playing COD for so many years. The top teams online, for the most part, not all the time, but 90% of the time, are the best teams on LAN. And it has been like that for years. It has been like that for years.
My favorite example was.
But hold on, let me just keep going. And I also made that comment about Austin. That wasn't a shot at Austin, and we have him in here now because I think Austin is also good online. I think Austin.
That was a very odd comment, though.
Okay. Hold on. Austin, if you take it the wrong way, it's an odd comment. But at the end of the day, everybody moved to Texas, Austin, to get the good internet. So there's no excuses. There's no excuses for that.
My whole bank account, if we were playing in person, I would never be in this situation. Never.
You're saying on main stage with fans. You think
no shot, bro.
Why?
Listen, nobody also mentions this. Do you understand on LAN you cannot sound whore? People literally rely on sound cues online consistently. You can't do that with white noise in the fucking.
Point. That's a great
the game is different. You can pre-aim.
I understand.
ARs get better on LAN.
That.
Subs are better online. It's literally facts. This is a great example. Ian, how many times did we get choke slammed by Optic and Black Ops 4? Online.
God wants me to
every
get
single
a whole
time.
bunch.
How many times did we beat them on LAN? Every single time. The results are different.
Bro, Austin, I'm not saying that there aren't times where there's differences between on LAN and online. I'm saying for the most part, the best teams online are the best teams on LAN. It's been the same thing. It's been the same thing for years, for legit years. Yes, there might be some
people
differences
are-
in the game. Yes, there might be some players who get nervous, whatnot. But for the most part, and again, going back to what Ian was saying about how some players online get super nervous when they go to LAN. You can name a few players, maybe with maybe 5 fingers, maybe with one hand. You can get maybe
It's not even
4
just
or 5
about getting
players.
nervous though. There's literally players who rely on sound cues all the time online. You literally watch them play. They don't have good awareness.
Bro,
They'll pick up the flank because they heard something.
People are gonna sound whore on LAN too, bro. It's harder, but they do it. They still do it. They still do it. It doesn't matter. People blast their headsets. You guys are telling me you don't sound whore on LAN? What?
No.
Wait a second. Hold on. It is completely different. Hold on, Tom. Right now, Tom, if you play at 100 game volume right now and download a couple apps, you hear fucking everything. On LAN, you have earbuds in. You have white noise. You have a headset
yes, I know
over
there's a
those
difference.
earbuds.
Yes, I know there's a difference. I'm not saying there's not. I'm saying it's still done on LAN. People still sound whore on LAN. It doesn't go away.
But to a way lower degree.
Wait, Zinni, if you couldn't sound her on LAN, then why were you using inconspicuous armor to fucking AR in World War II if you can't sound her on LAN?
I'm not
Explain
saying it's
this to me.
impossible, but it's a lot less
Exactly,
fucking
Big P.
I never said it's impossible. Of course you can hear the fucking game.
Wait, okay,
Tom,
but
here's
same
my take
thing.
on that.
I didn't use dead silence and I never got sound horde, so I don't know what you're talking about. Like I ran infantry hunker and didn't get sound horde running around the map.
You can sound toward. There were certain pinches in games that you had to run dead silence in mountain or like whatever the perk was to actually hit that pinch because you can hear it pretty loud.
You can sound horde on
I
LAN.
always just get really lucky on land, then it never gets sound horde.
Tom, can I go
Dude,
back
there's
to
a
your...
lot of players that actually are able to sound tour.
I agree with you, right?
Yeah.
Majority of the time, the best teams online are the best teams on LAN.
Yeah, that's all I was trying to say.
It can shift a little bit.
I agree with that too. By the way.
But the biggest reason to go back to the main point of like players getting exposed on LAN and like individual players being a lot better online and LAN is that's because the best teams online are the best teams because of their understanding of the game, and it's not just relied on individual
I don't
skill.
think anyone disagrees with that point. By the way,
I want to bring Pierce in this discussion for a second. Hold on, BN.
Okay.
Pierce, what were people saying about your team in IW when you guys were winning those 2Ks early?
I think everyone. I remember all the comments from all the professional players when we were all amateurs at that time, calling us online jokes, pieces of shit, lots of things actually. They would call us host fuckers, believe it or not. And we went to LAN. We absolutely torched them at Atlanta. Basically shit on everybody. And, took home the dub. I had our first event as a fucking literally going into the open bracket after winning multiple 2Ks on LAN or online. But we were host fuckers at the time, so we didn't understand how to play the game, and we got, I guess, hypothetical nervous on LAN.
That just happens bro, that happened to me too. People said the same thing when I was coming up in Ghost. That's like a rite of passage. Like, bro, people call you a joke online until you do something on LAN. That doesn't matter.
No, it wasn't
everyone gets called a joke.
It wasn't like that they called us a joke.
Exactly my point. Exactly my point.
That's the difference though, because Tom, I remember in the beginning of IW, because we had played Pierce's team in like a couple of the 2K, you know what I'm saying? Like
literally would roast us for
and I remember because we lived in the Faze house and we talked about, we're like, people were roasting Pierce and them, but we were like, dude, they're going to be a good team. That's the difference.
Yeah, the only
good team online is going to be really good on LAN most of the time because, like I said, their teamwork is just better. They have a better understanding.
I agree with that.
But I think what Zin was saying, and this is why you guys were kind of both agreeing with each other, but on different things, is like it's the middle of the pack, right? The solid teams.
Yeah, that's what Haggy said.
Have like individual players, like a player or two that are doing really good online, that it doesn't translate to LAN.
Yeah,
like that. Well, I think that is a very fair take.
I think also,
and there's been a lot more than 4 people. I could name off a paragraph of people in the hit since AW, since we started playing, that were fucking supposed to be They were disgusting online.
Yeah,
and they were average online.
No, definitely, and that's what I was saying. That's why what Haggy said to me about the middle of the pack teams. That's what I'm saying. That's what I said, Ian. I was like, bro, it's not just so black and white. Like, yes, internally, like in the middle of the pack teams, there might be little things, but the way it's exaggerated, it's what really bothers me. Like, it just bothers me so much. Like, I feel like a lot of the pros really exaggerate the online to LAN bullshit. They exaggerate the fuck out of it. Yes, there's differences. Yes, like Austin said, there's little things like the sound whoring a little bit, and the atmosphere. The biggest thing to me is what Zinni says with the fans, right? The nerves and everything. Sometimes it takes people more time to get used to stuff like that. But the way people talk about it, it's like I'm expecting like half the teams to be fucking shit now when it goes to LAN, like with the way people talk. Like it's just that's all I'm trying to say. It's just
I don't think anyone says that though. There's just like, people online who are literally great, and then they go to LAN and they're pretty good.
No, I understand
they're
that.
no longer
And
great.
And
like,
Austin, you're one of those players, right? Where you just always play better on LAN. Like you're just better in a LAN
I think
atmosphere.
it's way different, but that's I don't know. I think the game is
Austin also had the West Coast situation. You
that's what I'm saying, and that's what I'm saying. A lot of people now with this online bullshit are all moving to Texas, which is why you're right, Austin. The comment was a little odd, but I didn't mean it like that. I'm just saying people now are just all moving central to try and get the best internet possible. So that way they're on an even fair playing field no matter what server they're playing on. And yes, it's online still. And there's still, yes, I know, Austin, I know.
I would still argue though. There's lot
other
of, bro,
things.
You don't understand the
I know.
Servers. You played on these servers, bro. You know how they are. Like,
yeah,
you can say, it's close to LAN, but it's not. It's
well, first of all, this goes back to what we were talking about the other day with Crim6, because it's not so much the servers and the online and everything. It's the ticks. Or like the 60 hertz or the 12. Remember how we were playing 12 hertz and we went to 60 hertz? Because when we went to 60 hertz, it felt like LAN. For the most part. It wasn't exactly LAN, but it was close to it, no, Austin? Like it was pretty close.
I still think it's
different,
way different.
But it was pretty fucking close. It was way better.
When you play two teams literally that are in Texas at the same time, literally on a 60-hertz server, that's LAN. Two Dallas teams that play against each other. Let's give it Dallas Empire and LA Thieves, for example. They are playing on LAN. That is the closest thing you are going to get to LAN. Anyone at that point, like if you're going to complain about any kind of like online ping situation, like you're just fucking lost in your own head at that point. Like
who?
There's nothing you can do.
I mean, I get what you're saying. I just still think, I don't know. I could be like
I remember
delusional,
last year.
but I think the sound cues and like there's a lot of little things that change the game. Like I genuinely believe
you're right, though.
ARs
You're
are
right.
way better on LAN and subs get a little bit worse. Like
I remember
just the guns,
last year, Huntsman
you can
versus
pre-aim
Dallas.
better.
I mean, listen. So Huntsman versus Dallas, or now Optic Chicago versus Dallas. Online, Empire would always beat them. On LAN, Optic didn't lose to them.
Exactly.
Someone explain it. They're both located in Texas, just a few miles apart.
Say it again.
Dallas was consistently beating Optic online and MW. On LAN, Optic didn't lose to them.
Yeah, that way better.
That's a sample size of like two series, though. Correct?
Yeah, well, that was in the beginning of the game.
Twice. Yeah. The last time they played on LAN was like February or something.
Are you trying to bring the Optic thing up? Come on, bro.
But it's still a point of like Dallas
I know what
never
you're trying to do right there. No, listen. At the end of the day, there's a lot of things that you guys are saying that I definitely agree with. And all I was trying to say was, I just feel like the online to LAN, yes, there's differences and stuff. I just feel like sometimes it's blown way out of proportion. It's a little bit exaggerated. But I think for the most part, the top players online are the top players on LAN, and the top teams online are the top teams on LAN. And yes, there will be a few exceptions here or there, and we'll see some differences. And of course, it's a different atmosphere, and I think some players are better than others. And like I said, it's just a little bit exaggerated. And that's all I was trying to say. And in the middle of the pack, yes, it comes down to a lot of things like Parasite was saying and Ian, you were saying a little bit. But at the end of the day, I think the best teams that we're still seeing at the top right now are still going to be the best on LAN. I don't think it's going to change. And if it's not right off the rip, I think eventually it'll be heading there. I think sometimes, with some players as they're coming in, a lot of people need to get some more reps on LAN. It is a little bit different. I agree. A lot of the things that you guys are talking about are definitely different on LAN. I've competed for many years, so I know that. But I think eventually the top players always find their way to the top no matter where the fuck they're playing. And that's just how it is.
I also want to clarify that this might be a very funky year because of the situation of these lands with no fans, with teams having weird travel situations. So we might see some insane variance here at the end of the season. But I think we're all kind of correct. It's hard to really make these judgments about online versus LAN without like a full calendar year of online versus LANs instead of just a short burst at the end.
Enough with enough with the bong grip, guys. I dropped something over there.
Yeah, but didn't we have that for years? Like we played online 2Ks for years, and then LANs for years, like throughout.
That's what I'm saying. Like
years.
And traditional, you have a whole calendar year where you're rotating back and forth. And this year, you guys will have played essentially 2/3 of the season before you have a couple of opportunities at the end of the year.
User was
obviously pending COVID.
I dragged Looney in here because he just poked me a question.
I don't know, man. I'll stand by that. It's just different, bro. Like nobody will go from the best player in the world to being the worst, but someone could go from
I just wanted
to
to know the
being
answer.
good. Like it's just different, bro. Some people get better under the pressure. Some people play worse under the pressure. That's just how it is.
Agreed. But I think a lot of it. Again, I feel like we're agreeing to disagree. I
There's
feel
a lot
like
of nuance.
No,
to this
nobody disagrees with your statement that it's like way different. Like, oh my God, it's a different game. We're not going from online playing Call of Duty to LAN playing Gears of War. Like, it's still Call of Duty, but like at the end of the day, pressure brings out the best in some people and it brings out the worst in others. Like, and you cannot get that added pressure playing from online.
No, I agree. And the comment I made, I didn't mean it like that. I really didn't. I was just trying to say, you know, players moving to Texas, like it just doesn't matter. Like online now, a lot of players are taking the steps and we're taking those next steps to get themselves on an even playing field. And yes, there's some differences, but I feel like in this day and age, what people are moving to Texas, people have 1,000, like this online to LAN thing can be a little bit exaggerated, but I agree with a lot with what you're saying. I do. It's just, I think a lot of it just, what I said before was just exaggerated, but whatever. I saw your gift that you tweeted. What are you on a team? Are you going to Dallas? What's up?
No comment, bro.
I sent you.
Damn, bro.
Wow, I'm mind blown.
And then
also Zinni on sorry for cutting you off.
No, you're good, Big P. Go ahead. Take it over.
Zinni, 6 teams have to travel to the event. Not 8 teams live in Texas. Seattle, Toronto, LAG, London, Florida.
Is there only 6 in Texas?
Yeah, there's only 6 in Texas. My 3 teammates live. Actually, no, we have to double travel because Preston lives in Houston.
Still, I mean, I would say there are still 6 teams at a minor advantage because they have to take an Uber to the event rather than fly in, go through the protocols, all that shit.
Fly in a week early. Fly in a week early. Get yourself all set up.
Has to go through the protocols.
Yeah. Everybody.
Like 3 days before
Toronto's different.
Toronto's going to have a weird situation unless they're staying in the States. And obviously, we don't know what the current plans are. They're going to have to quarantine when they go back to Canada. And
that's going to be
requirements are very specific. Right, you got to go to a hotel. That's going to make practice difficult for them.
That's not true. If you drive over the border,
they won't.
You can quarantine in your apartment.
They'll have to fly to like Buffalo and then drive over the border. Is what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm not sure about the situation yet, but I mean, yeah, there's still a 2-week quarantine in place. Whether you fly in or drive in, you still have to quarantine.
I saw an article that they made it a little bit more lenient about it. It's 3 to 4 days now, where you have to pay for your own hotel and you have to stay in the hotel. Like they won't pay for it.
No. You're right. But after that, you still have to quarantine for 2 weeks. It's like a 3-day hotel period to get like a test or whatever. I think it's like $2,000.
And then you stay in your own apartment at that point.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is you can get rid of that hotel period if you drive over the border instead of fly.
I don't think you can say that that's like an advantage or disadvantage though. The team should be taking the proper amount of time beforehand to get out here, get situated. It's the same thing as like when we traveled to well, it's not the same thing obviously with COVID, but when we traveled to London, we had to get adjusted to the time zone and like all that. Like, but I'm not gonna go in there and be like, oh man, we lost because 8-hour time difference. Like, they should just come a few days early and get acclimated.
Yeah, go ahead, Ian.
I'm pretty sure you talked about it as well, Ben. The biggest thing is right now we're in such a weird time, like with the league and a lot of players getting an opportunity because of online. Is like that's why I feel like you could see a lot of people kind of get exposed, because when you look at pro players in the past, they got to that point of consistently proving themselves at these LAN events, right? It's very rare that like a player just gets a fucking insane opportunity. And I know I'm talking about years ago, but when there was a lot of LANs, it's like you don't know how a good amount of these players that are in the fucking CDL now from challengers are actually going to be good on LAN. It's like none of them are I don't want to sound disrespectful, but like none of them are like HUKE, you know what I'm saying? Like this year, like maybe besides Insight, but like a player that you could just tell is a generational talent. Like they're all really good. Like Standy's really good. DiamondCon was really good. Fucking Hydra's really good. But it's still going to be a question mark.
I agree.
They're going to have to prove themselves. And because there's so many.
I think though, Ian, I think that's a fair point. and guys like Big Wake, who we've never seen play LAN. I think
they're
Toronto,
very good.
Toronto's a little bit unfair because I think some of those guys played at Champs and have played on LAN.
No,
but
I think Toronto's the same team.
I think it cuts the other way for LAN though, like for veterans, because you have to remember some of you guys haven't, some of these veterans haven't played a LAN Call of Duty game in 15 months, and that's not an insignificant amount of time. I think Stage 4 could be an insane event because it's going to be insane variance for people's routines, and their sort of chemistry on LAN may not quite be there, and they're going to need to get used to it. And this isn't a CWL event where, you get a pool play where you get a couple of games to get into it before you're in the bracket. This is a very unforgiving format where if you start in losers, one and done.
Hey,
and
Zin,
teams may not have that luxury.
I think that's a great point.
You think Toronto's going to be the same team?
I mean, I think Insight would be the same exact player, right? It's not like he's a player that abuses cameras, right? Like his play style is pretty, like non-abusive when it comes to like mechanics.
His play style is definitely transferable.
Yeah, so like I think he'll be the exact same player on LAN. Bant has found a ton of success on LAN. Kleenex obviously popped off for his Envy at Black Ops 4, and Cammy also played on LAN in Black Ops 4.
But I don't understand. I don't understand the playstyle argument, because then you have people like Kleenex and Cammy who are just fucking cameraing everything. Do you think they're just gonna be shit on worse on LAN?
They have experience.
Wait, hold on. I agreed with the fact that the top teams will stay the top teams. I did not disagree with that. Like the Phases.
I know. I wasn't saying that.
I still think they'll be dominant.
So you think so you think experience is like the main thing, Dan? Like you think that's like the
I mean, I think that's anything veterans will ever say.
Yeah, it's very
some
important.
do have, obviously, like you said, camera, but you had a camera playstyle, Tom.
Yeah, no, I did.
You transferred good.
Yeah.
My thing was
at
what
first,
Ben was saying,
it was
though,
a little different
of like veterans having to get used to it too. I feel like with this announced, I can see a hex quarters boot camp. I don't know what the things.
Yeah.
I think
they can without
they're
a doubt.
gonna boot camp a week before, so that'll help a lot going into that event.
Headquarters and a Dallas boot camp as well at the same time.
That's where I can see what's it called, the Texas advantage, depending if people fly out earlier. But I feel like boot camps is also a big thing and gives people playtime on LAN too. Because it is going to be a shift for veterans too. You are right. 15 months is a lot of time.
For sure.
Not touch it.
If anything, there might be more pressure on veterans now because everybody's expecting the veterans to be so fucking dominant or good or used to LAN.
The way we talk, I mean, yeah.
And then Dan, you poked me a question. You said how many times in AW did y'all beat Optic online? Oh, you're just curious.
Question.
Oh, you're just curious.
Yeah.
How many times in AW did y'all beat Optic online? I don't even know. Ian, do you remember? Is Ian still in here? Yeah, I couldn't even tell you either. I feel like we didn't even play them a lot online. Like online, we knew we were kind of like the top two teams. We never scrimmed against each other because we were always just like had that.
But didn't we play so many 2Ks and 5Ks? I felt like you had to run them into.
Did we? I don't remember.
Well, I mean, they probably beat us the majority. Didn't they win like all the 2Ks?
I will say this. Maybe you didn't get to them, which is still a point that y'all were ass online compared to LAN, because
we were really good online, bro. In AW,
so then you should have been matching them in the grand finals. So you should probably know, but.
I think we made it far, but if I remember right,
you guys
were they won like 85% of all the fucking 2Ks.
I'm pretty sure they made more money online than like.
And they were still really good on LAN, but they were just beatable. Like you probably didn't beat them very much online, but you had a chance.
I mean, like I said, I agree with like the most top teams usually stay the same, and history shows that. But history has a lot of examples where a team that wasn't really thought about going into the event made a crazy impact, and there's a lot. TK World War II, our Splice team, Black Ops 4, even like Faze AW, your Columbus team. I don't know if you guys really had Mitch like thought going into it. Also, where like you guys were like kind of like the favorites.
Like 6th, I think.
Like, EG at Seattle and the CWL years.
Yeah. So like LAN history does show that LAN has different results, but
yeah,
I mean Optic obviously has those guys won a lot online in LAN, like Austin said.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we don't need to keep going. I mean, we're just going in circles right now.
I was just actually genuinely curious about the Phase stuff. I know you guys are the Kryptonite, obviously.
Yeah.
Left your
but
channel.
I think at the end of the day, I agree with what a lot of you guys are saying. I don't disagree at all. I really
Lamar
don't.
said they didn't win a single 2K before Dallas.
Yeah, I think they got to grand finals in one of them, I think, right?
I mean, 100%. I'm agreeing with you that there's I mean, look at us in World War II in the beginning online, how ass we were. And then when we went to LAN and open bracket,
another good example.
Yeah, that's a great example right there.
One thing I'll say, Tom, though, is what online gameplay has changed a little bit now. Because back in the day, it was a little bit of host wars, and now you guys play on neutral servers. I know sometimes the neutral servers aren't always going to be 50-50 and fair just due to geography, but it is a little bit better than having to play on, the quad Michigan of V6 or Pat Akes' host or something like that.
I agree. And then to end it off, there's definitely players that are better on LAN than they are online, and vice versa. Like there definitely is. It's very rare. I just personally don't think it's as bad as people say it is. But there's definitely circumstances, especially for someone like Austin, who's in the call, who I think is just way better on LAN, who's been doing it for years, gets thrown into the online bullshit.
Austin's a joke online. Don't get it twisted.
Well, he moved to Texas, so everybody's a joke these days.
I would never
Even
be
in
in
West
this position if it was back on LAN.
I didn't say. I didn't say that. It's like when Krim, people called Krim a warrior, and he started getting offended. It's like, bro, it's just you gross online.
Austin, if you think you were on LAN, you think you would just be like performing better, or do you think the team performances would just be better? Like, you think your individual performance or both?
Both.
You think both? I could see your team being better on LAN, that 100 Thieves team, the one before that. But I don't know, man. We could just move on from this fucking combo.
I mean, if COVID didn't happen, bro, the COD League looks different. Period.
I think so.
Yeah. I mean, that's what's so exciting about it. Now we're going to LAN, so we'll see. You know what I'm saying? We'll see what the fuck happens.
I don't disagree with you.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's gonna be exciting just to see what the fuck happens. I mean, like, we'll see. I mean, it'll be crazy if top teams are just shit now and teams that are really bad.
That's not gonna happen. It won't be like crazy changes. It'll just be some like minor
like individual players, like maybe some like in the middle of the pack, maybe type shit. I don't know.
I think team play shines more too, to be honest.
But my bad, Austin, if that comment pissed you off. I didn't mean it like that. So I kind of said it. I kind of said it wrong.
I just know how people in the community take shit like that.
Yeah,
so.
Which is why if anything's ever said the wrong or get the wrong way, just come on the show. But I didn't mean it like that, guys. I think Austin's is like one of the best players to ever do it. Like I was just saying, like, he moved to Texas and people want a fair slate. Okay, Ben just poked me to wrap it up. Okay, Ben, fuck you. We're going into a golfing segment. No, Dan, you have to stay real quick.
Okay.
I gotta do this.
Because Ben needs to sync a putt, and the more people in here, the more nervous he gets. We're talking about on LAN and a crowd. Well, Ben has a crowd.
Oh, the big screen as
he
well.
has a
crack
crowd.
Under pressure?
He cracks under pressure, Austin. He really does.
No.
It's fucking comedy. Let's see what you got,
I haven't seen him miss. He's like the last 3 shows.
Yo, is he putting it closer today?
Come on.
Can we get a check on that? Where's the place?
He missed it again. Ben, you're fucking choking.
Yo, I'm telling you, I'm in the call. The added pressure,
bro.
Ben chokes. Yo, people.
What is that? What is he wearing right now?
You got it, bro. He does the same thing every day. He wears slippers with no socks, sweatpants, and he's got fucking stains on him.
Pressure.
That's crazy, Ben. You choked because Austin Littlecoat's in the call. Unbelievable.
I just lipped it, but I made the second putt, so it's all good.
Unbelievable. Well, the show ended a little bit hectic, but it's always good to get a bunch of people on. Just
always like
debate.
a mixy conversation.
Yeah, it's always good because I feel like a lot of the times, half the time, we're agreeing with each other, but disagreeing about little, like, I don't know. Why is there a fucking big ass penis in my chat? Can a mod please get rid of this shit, bro? But
right,
thank
boys,
you, thank you, Austin, for coming on. Yeah, later, bro. We'll see you on Dallas. Later, everybody else who came in. Appreciate you, Ian. Appreciate you, Tactical Rab, again.
Yeah,
much
cheers,
love.
Boys. Bloody hell, the content. I was just lapping it up.
Yeah, bro. It was getting fucking hot in here. You know what I'm saying? It was getting fucking hot.
I took like 6 clips of the stream.
I like that, bro. I like the my content is your content, Rab. You know that, man. I appreciate you coming on. Shout out to Enable. Shout out to everybody else who came on. And let's just wrap it up, man. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Please subscribe, guys, if you're watching on the YouTube channel. We're close to 60,000 subscribers, so make sure to hit that sub button. Make sure to go to anchor.fm/theflank to check it out on all audio sites if you guys want to listen into some audio cues. And then other than that, man, make sure to follow the stream. I appreciate you guys, man. We're on a 287 sub train. This train has not stopped since the show started, which is absolutely unreal. So let's get a Woo Mafia for Zoo Mafia in the chat, man. I appreciate you guys, man. And I love you guys. We'll see you guys in the next one. You guys have a good one. I'm going to continue the stream as well. So we'll see you guys later, man.
Sound muted.